I see we have a new friend.
Hello, Kev. Rayleigh is our new member, potentially, that we will be running into tonight. Where we left off yesterday, last week, Gale, Sev, Jinprax, you all met up with Elmley and took him on as an honorary party member. You were concerned about him potentially being a harm and somehow like detriment to your current objective of rescuing the dwarf, and you didn't want your guys, your hiddenness blown. You took him on. You went through a good bit of the caverns, going down further into the mine, past where it seems that folks have really set up and started mining anything out. We've gotten to the more natural parts of it. We did run into a couple of combat encounters. You quickly disposed of some skeletons and ran into a little baby Ankeg that Elmley struggled and struggled and struggled trying to hit once until he finally took it down and was overcome with adrenaline and just started to gut it. Yeah. You all wanted to...
yeah, I was performing surgery.
Oh yeah, we did some horrible stuff.
Yeah, you took off its legs, you delimbed it, you took trophies or whatever. So, I mean, hey, I'm not here to judge. You can treat monsters how you want, but hey, it's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some judgment, Dale.
we were rolling so terribly in damage, and it was just going so terribly until we all got very lucky at the last minute.
Yeah, we did have some. We did have a great comeback, absolutely. But to end the night, you guys wanted to rest up and then head out when you all are restored. Didn't mean to cut you off, Shwai. What's up?
No, I kind of forget what I was going to say. So we're safe, to assume that we're just a reminder for my brain. We're deep enough in that we're not worried about the workers finding us down here.
Correct. As you've come down the past, I believe, floor in this floor, they looked like it looked like the beams that had been erected as signifiers of different tunnels that you've gone through that have been mined out by the actual workers. They have not been erected in the past few areas. So it seems very unlikely that either they've run out of places to set them up, or they just haven't had the time to come down here. They've had no need to come down here. They're still working up above, something like that.
Could also be natural caverns that are just here already and are not really part of the mine yet.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah, considering there's that giant gaping maw that leads down to water, that's probably just part of the geography.
Yeah, so I was basically asking just to ensure that I can, we're taking a long rest, I can get all my stuff back.
Absolutely.
Yay. Excellent.
All right. And we'll begin with you all waking up.
Wake me up inside.
It's rather... I know, Sev, you preferred the dark, but it's very unnerving to me to go to sleep without the sun. It feels very odd. Or to wake up, rather, without the sun.
I am twitching because you called me by my real name, and is Elmley awake at the moment?
Oh, shit.
Give me a perception check.
What?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
I forget what your fake name is, and I'm at my other computer, so I can't look at it.
It was Lee.
Oh, it's Lee.
Okay. And what was Gale's?
John.
John. I'm the one with the like confusing one too, and I'm
Yeah.
the one not remembering. I'm sorry.
Okay, solid roll, solid roll. I'm good.
So yeah, as Jinprax says your full name or your normal name out loud, you quickly like look over to Elmley, and you just see Elmley just snoring away, just rolling over
my
onto
God.
his stomach.
Okay, good.
This vaguely felt more like a luck check.
Yeah.
Roll me luck.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's like. I mean, you think about it. Most rolls are just luck in general. So you're
Hey.
rolling to be lucky. It's a little redundant, but sure. All right. So okay. You know, it's easier on the eyes. If you get me, easier on my eyes to not be blinded by that ball of fire up there. It doesn't like me very much.
Well, I must say, I think you are rather easy on the eyes as is, but I understand what you're saying with the sun being easy on the eyes.
Out of
It's
character.
The only
Mhm.
reason that was
Nerd.
smooth is because Jimprax is hot.
See, the easy on the eyes, like that also went over my head for a brief moment, because I'm like, wait, I am not a burning ball of fire. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay.
Oh, he's flirty.
A
God damn
bard flirty?
Don't,
What?
no, no.
It's not that bad. Jimprax
Well,
Jimprax has had his heart broken. It's fine.
for my part, be it day, night, or in a cavern, it's all part of the great cycle. It doesn't matter where I wake up or fall asleep, just as long as I'm relatively comfortable.
Yeah.
I will say that is impressive. I don't share your guys' strength of back being able to sleep on hard things.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really come naturally to me. It was something I've had to acquire as when you're not in one place for very long, you kind of got to get used to making do with what you got.
Agreed.
This concept is a little bit confusing to Jimprax, but he does his best to nod knowingly, not understanding it the slightest.
As you all are talking amongst yourselves, just waking up, about this time is when Elmia starts to yawn and roll over and gradually blink and start to get up.
I would have been last watch, so I would have been up for a while already.
For sure.
All right, friend. It seems you're up and at 'em. Ready to go find your pals?
Yeah. How y'all doing? We doing okay?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I feel like a new person after that long rest.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't beat the bed back home, but pushing some of these rocks together, I mean, it's a place to sleep.
It
You're
is
right. You're right.
definitely a place to sleep. I prefer to be asleep in the arms of my numerous lovers that I don't care about personally in any way, but it will do.
Yeah, you sound like you have a complicated history from what you was saying the other day, but I ain't none of my business. Once we all get ready, though, we should probably head out soonish. I don't want anything else to happen to my friends out there.
Yes, of course.
Suddenly, there's a Khajiit on the board. Oh, no, not anymore. Tabaxi, sorry. Oh, Tabaxi came and went, is that one of your party members? Oh, wait, nope, there she goes.
Good.
Tabaxi giving you luck points.
Yes, yes.
Oh, right. She was why we were able to beat those last
That's
guys.
right. That's right.
Cora. That was
Oh, it was
Cora,
Cora.
actually.
Sorry. I'm not.
forgot about that.
I don't have the screen open since I'm on
Names.
mobile.
Yeah.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Cora's
he-
sleeping though, they're both moving.
Elmy starts to like rifle through his pack, open one of his like his packed rations, just start chowing down, and starts making his way down, waiting for you guys.
Yep.
I follow.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna get my
Now as
shit
good as
together.
time as anyway.
Cool.
Alright, let's get going.
Follow song. Follow song. Follow.
So he's gonna
song,
suggest-
follow song.
Or he's gonna ask around, like, is there any particular place that you want to go? Do you want to like backtrack through the place that you've been? Do you just want to try to move forward and down, or what is the plan you all have right now?
Kind of think maybe we should go back to where we defeated the Onkeg and move forward from there.
That makes sense.
'Cause I
Okay.
don't think
Yeah.
there were any spots that we went to that were just dead ends.
The spot with the Onkeg where you all fought the Onkeg was the dead end.
Oh.
There was no way to move on from there. The only thing that was there was the burrowed hole that the Onkeg sprout out of.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then there
I
was a
don't
place
think
with
anybody's
webbing or
doing it.
something.
Yes. So let me move all of you.
Kind of
Sorry, I
down.
thought those were that was the same place, but I guess it wasn't.
No worries. No worries. It's been a little bit. So this is the place where the webbing was along the walls. We had the 3 Onkeg holes, and then we had the webbing along the walls with the.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm going to say that now because you saw it come out of the last one. Sorry if that's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I forgot. Honestly, I
It's
forgot
okay.
about the holes. So yeah, now that I'm like, oh yeah, there were holes that we didn't understand, and a thing came out of a hole. So yeah.
Yeah, it has the same
By
green
process
eggs.
of elimination.
Had the
Yep.
same green eggs that you saw around the perimeter of the room. And we tried to like repack one of the holes, broke some of the eggs. You still see like the. God, do I call
Oh
it?
yeah, we pretended
call it
that
the
didn't
shell?
happen.
I don't know anything about insects.
The
Like,
exterior?
yeah, what like the top part of the whatever. It's still like
Exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton.
exoskeleton. I like it. I like it. Yes.
Thank
You see
you.
like specks
I
of
think I'm
green
clever. I'll
mixed
be
in
here
with
all week.
the dirt. If you head back up to the room that led you down there, you are met with the like ledge that goes up roughly about 50 feet. Going to the left will take you back to the water room that you were staying in. Then going to the right, I don't believe you've gone down yet.
Nothing ventured. Nothing
Yeah.
gained. Let's keep moving forward.
To the right.
Onward. Yep. To the right.
Fantastic.
To the right. Right.
As you head off to the right, you take the quarter down roughly about 15-20 feet, and you're met with another, what appears to be an entrance with like rough like gravelly terrain leading downwards.
Let us
Down
go
we
down.
go.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that is going to take us out to
Oh
here.
boy.
And we're just being followed, and we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good to me. Let's keep going.
Being followed. Wait, what?
I'm just
The
laughing that the
Wolf's
token,
character.
Wolf's token, is
Oh.
also going along with us.
there.
So I'm doing that just so Wolf can see. So he's not just left, pardon the pun, in the dark. So.
Haha. Jim
I
Prax
see
used
what
his
you did there.
incredible ability, break the fourth wall.
Who is going to be going first? Like, what was our marching line?
Absolutely not me.
I will go first.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, because
I
you do
feel-
have dark vision, don't you?
No, that's me.
No, but I think Stoic does too, actually.
Only
No.
when
Did we
I
establish that?
transform into spider form.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I'm
you
only-
all
Like base.
so you all do have the bottles that the mystery dwarfman
Right.
gave you that have the fireflies in them, and that gives off light in like a 15-foot radius around you.
Oh, Minnie's giving Cora a bath.
We'll go with who wants to take up the end.
I want to be
feel
in the
like
middle.
Okay.
I also can't
I
see
feel
where I
like-
am on the map.
Yep.
Oh, there I am.
Hmm.
I just see me in blackness.
God, real. Oh, because it didn't say. God, Jesus.
I'm in darkness too.
I'm
I
so
don't-
sorry.
Yeah.
No parents.
No
There we go. Oh, I see
parents.
some eerie green.
And
there we go.
come to a fork in the road.
Hi, Fork.
Can we see the eerie green?
You can see the eerie green.
Wait, where's the eerie green?
Well, you
Downward.
can't see the eerie green. So,
I can't. see
Gale,
eerie green.
as you
Here,
lead the
move to where
party,
I was.
as you lead the party forwards, you realize that the road, the trail, the corridor, cavern, hallway splits off in two. There are stairs leading downwards, and there are stairs leading upwards. If you go to the stairs southwards, there is a little bright burst of green that you see along the wall as it breaks off into the rest of the room.
Maybe we should check that out.
Yes, let's head
Strange things are probably,
this way.
yes,
Maybe we
running
should
headfirst
try to
into
be
danger.
Stealthily, though, if I may make a suggestion.
Not a
Okay.
bad idea. We don't know what we're going into.
Sure thing.
Also, Elwie, I might have to do something that you might not particularly like, but when it happens, please don't freak out.
Oh no.
Oh,
Well, I fade into the walls with my natural 20.
let's see. Sorry,
here.
I didn't roll yet.
I'm trying to get. Oh, I don't think I saved that. Oh shoot.
Stealth check.
Let's go paste.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go delete you. Elmi's
What?
out here.
Why
Cool.
did it look like? What? Why does it look like that?
Well,
I can't see what I rolled. It just says the word stealth and the number 4.
How did you break this?
What?
Can you try rolling anything else?
No. God, what's happening?
What in the
wait.
world?
Oh, I think I know what I did. Oh my god. Okay, I
What did
fixed
you-
it.
How did you roll a
124?
124?
You exist on
It's
the
one to
corporeal
One
plane.
d20. Wait, what is happening to my
What have you
characters?
done? How does this happen?
You broke it.
Estimated bard.
You are erased from our minds and from existence itself. What the fuck?
What?
Chinprax
It's
vanishes
rolling.
to another
It's
dimension.
rolling 120 instead of 1d20. That is the issue, but I
Oh,
don't know
no.
why. I'm clicking it from my character sheet. Oh wait, I popped it. Oh, all right, we're giving this
Character
another
sheet?
try. Okay.
What in the world?
Oh no!
Still doing it. Oh god, it's still doing it.
Just
How does
wondering,
that-
did
Wait,
I
it didn't roll. It didn't. Wait, did it? What?
124.
Roll 20, giving 124
What's up, Wolf?
instead of
did I
1d20.
seeing a black screen on my end?
Oh, sorry. Let me. That was one. Oh no. Wait, no. Should be good. Oh, but it probably didn't save to... Yeah. Where are you?
Just curious.
No, I got you. That's on my part. This is... So I updated settings, and then those settings updated the visual stuff, so... There we go. That should be good to go on your end, yeah? Maybe it'd be easier if I just... do
I
that.
would suggest maybe
There we go.
like refreshing the page and trying again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Like,
did
or
you guys
log
use
in,
character
log out.
manager? Like, I'll refresh the page.
Yeah, try refreshing the page or closing and reopening. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Oh,
That's
God.
all I got. That is like that is literally my knowledge of technology.
Yeah,
It's
like
fine.
unless something broke in the character sheet, like maybe like editing it somehow made it
Nope.
do that.
Well,
Roll 6d20 and always get 20 each time.
No, it's
So-
instead of rolling 1d20, it's rolling 120.
yeah,
Is the issue.
I'll have to look into that. I don't know why that would be happening. At
Yeah,
the very
why
least,
did we
you could always just manually roll and then add the modifier from the
Yeah,
character
I
sheet.
guess-
Sorry.
Yeah, let's see. Out of no, it's fine. That's not a big deal. I'm just interested to see if other things
Funny.
work. Like, does this work? No. So
Yeah,
Oh,
122.
That's
let's see what
so
happens
weird.
if I.
So that's
Spells
fine.
are working.
That's fine. No.
That's not.
That's so strange.
damage is working, but rolling d20s is not.
Very
For
specific.
D20s are having
Okay, so that's
D20s
fun.
are not your friend.
all right, I'll do it manually.
Yeah, we'll get
You
a
have a
Or
d20.
not.
fix for that.
Isn't it? Here's how I learn. Well, I crit failed. After all of that, I crit failed. I'm
So
gonna
I
go eat
crit
sand.
20'd and you crit failed. That's just how the night's going, I guess.
I feel like just because of how much I feel like that was just the Lord of D&D being like, we
Fuck
gave you
you.
all of those 124s on your stealth. You don't want them? Fine. Have a nat 1.
Yeah. That's
All
Jim
right.
Prax forgets himself and returns to the good old days of singing the stealth song.
Oh, no.
We thought those days were behind him. Spoiler alert.
Fantastic. So Elmley darts over into the like in between Jim Prax, Gale, everyone, into the room at the bottom of the stairs. Gale, you just enter, and are slowly followed by Jim Prax. So are you coming down as well, or are you staying back up?
I mean, I'm gonna come down slowly, but considering I'm well stealthed, I have the advantage of staying unseen. So I am gonna stay back-ish.
Sure. So I'll see you like you're halfway down the stairs then.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like right. That's a good spot for me until further notice.
Jim Prax
Fantastic.
very loudly comes marching down singing the stealth song.
I am face palming right now. Like,
Fantastic.
And then as I get to
Um,
the bottom of the stairs, I'm like, oh wait, that's the opposite of how to be stealthy. Sorry, guys.
I shake my head with my hood sort of over my face.
you did
so
not do very well either. So, unfortunately, I'm back here. Like, you know what?
This was
They
not all
can-
Jim
they can
Prax's fault.
Yeah.
Check.
Like, you guys do that. If you need me, I am back here.
I
Like,
imagine what happens
Yeah.
is that Gale like yells at Jim Prax like, that's not being stealthy.
Well, I did roll a 2, so yeah, I didn't really fare that much better.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, at
I'm
least
like
plus I
facepalming
have plus
again.
4.
Yeah, I only have +2, so I just got lucky with the roll.
Wait, Stoic, you did it? Oh wait, no, there we go. Never mind. Okay. Yeah.
So yes, you are aware of my presence behind you. Yet I am I'm sneaky.
All right. Well, as you all come down the stairs, Elmley darts into the room first, and he sees a figure off to the top right, in the top right corner, who appears to just be getting up. And he shouts out to the rest of you down here, hey, I think I found him. Wolf, introduce your character.
I'm gonna step forward.
Hello, everyone. What's going on? I've just been stuck. Dale, are we still going with the first story or the second one?
Whatever you think is more appropriate.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I've just been traveling around. Got a guild request to hunt some monsters. What are you all doing?
Am I to understand this is one of your friends, Elwie?
Yeah, we got separated. I can't believe he's down. Oh my god, I was so worried.
For being
My
separated from your friend, you seem very casual about the whole thing. Are you quite all right?
Just sleeping in trees. Sleeping on a rock isn't too different.
Jimprax doesn't really know how to respond to this strange man.
yeah.
Do you know
my
where the rest of your
disguise
friends
is
are?
back.
I see from the knowledge that you had, Rayleigh wouldn't really know where the rest of the party was. Y'all got pretty split up from like the last big engagement.
Okay.
Yeah, my disguise is back up, so I'm back to being a dude.
Okay. Yeah, and so Rayleigh, like you see your essentially party leader, Elmley, the half-elf. This is a half-elf, halfling. Followed by Gale and Jinprax just like stumbling their way down the stairs. You start to hear the rambling of Jinprax just singing, "We are so stealthy, so very, very stealthy." And like very like sing-songy type voice.
Mother of
It might have been
God.
like a song from his childhood. Like his parents probably told him to sing the song so that they could like find him
Keep
for
track
dinner or
of
something.
him.
Yeah, to keep track.
Sing the song of our people.
Like putting a bell on the cat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think Elmley here has been very worried about you. Are you, and you've just been chilling out here, okay?
I got up, searched around for a while, and then, I mean, it's a big cave. I got tired and figured I might as well just chill for a moment, figure out what's going on, and then you all turned up, so it worked out in the end.
Can I roll perception to see, before I reveal myself, I want to see what is just what's up in the cave and if it's safe to be perceived.
Sure.
Okay, I guess I'm rolling well again.
We're back, baby.
Cool.
Yeah. for
So
now.
what were you looking for in particular? Like, were you trying to like look around the cave?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
Fantastic.
I mean, I guess I'm still hugging the wall. and trying not to be seen, but also trying to see.
Yeah, absolutely. As you take a look up at the wall, or like look into the room, you do notice just like normal gravel along the walls and the bottom of the ground, on the ground, coming off the wall. You see a couple of stalagmites just kind of all the way up to the ceiling. There is a bit of like what appears to be a couple of parts where this room has like caved in from like tremors up above and rocks just accumulated towards the bottom left and top right portion.
Why is it glowing green though? Do I have any explanation for that?
Yeah, as you take a look to the corner that you just round, you see that there is a like a cluster of growing mushrooms that all just emit a green light.
I need to harvest some because they're good for fortified smithing.
As you take
What?
as you take a look above you out of the corner of your eye. As you take a look above you out of the corner of your eye, you do catch a hint of green ooze moving along the ceiling. Coming along the far side of the room.
Ooze on the ceiling.
Ooze on the ceiling. Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's safe. I'm gonna like step out and be like, "Howdy, friend. How we doing? What's up with this ceiling? Did you see anything weird on the ceiling since you've been in here on these rocks? What is that?"
That's the ooze. I'm marking where you saw it.
Okay. That's the ooze. Was there something in here that left some strange discharge in its
Ugh.
wake? Because that's a little concerning.
Yeah, so he appears to be back.
To be honest, I don't know what I would know at this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
From your last encounter, you don't remember seeing any sort of like ooze or anything down here. Probably like what just recovered from some sort of skirmish with one of the bone spiders from the room up above. Came down here for a quick rest from like a couple days ago. Stay within like mostly this room and the last. And yeah.
Huh. So, I don't suppose the bugs do that. I don't know about the centipedes, though. They seem to be unpleasant.
Well, the bone spiders aren't really animals. Would they really ooze?
Oh no, not the bone spiders. No, the spiders. We dealt with some spiders, and they're not much of a fight, if you ask me.
What was worse was the onkeg we encountered. It was small, but it was still troubling.
Yeah, I don't know if do onkegs leave that? Would anybody know?
So as you're talking, I'm assuming like are you referring to the ooze?
Yes.
Starts to like as you've been talking, it starts to like clump up together, an inch slightly closer.
Oh, it's alive.
Okay, I think we should be leaving just about now.
Can I half draw my bow? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to try to like shoot an arrow at it.
Yeah, it might be action time.
Do it. Yeah. God, what
Initiative
do I even?
time?
What do I use on ooze? I mean, it's probably not going to be great with wisdom saves. So go ahead and shoot it. I'm gonna ready Toll the Dead in case you do some damage.
Yeah, if you all want to try to attack it, go ahead, roll me initiative.
Freeze it like Jello.
Again?
So, Wolf, if you head off your character sheet towards the
Really, I can
top.
roll initiative fine.
Good. Okay.
Good. You know
Shwai,
what? We're not
try
gonna
try
jinx it.
using something else now.
Just to see.
Do I just click the word initiative?
I just
Great.
wasted a nat 20, but
You blew in that
We're
20,
back.
but it's
It worked. And
Nice.
yes,
It
just
worth it.
just go ahead and click the word initiative. Fantastic.
oof. All right.
So let's get
You
that
know, not
up.
bad all over.
Get that out. Get that out. Get that out. So what do we have? We have Jinprax with the 16, Gale with the 18, and Sev with the 14, and then we'll add Turn with the. Come on. 98. No, thank you. There we go. Fantastic.
98.
Raleigh, you were the first one to talk about trying to attack this thing. Did you
Probably
want
go
to draw your bow and ready the attack, or did you actually want to attack it?
Just draw my bow and ready to attack and see what this thing does, because I don't know what it is at this moment.
Sure. Absolutely. Next I heard up was Sev. Go do whatever you're looking to do, and we'll go from the
right.
initiative order there.
Okay, I was gonna do Toll the Dead if you did damage, but since you didn't do anything, I am gonna go with Chill Touch.
Fantastic. Chill touch.
All right.
And does that... Yeah, that absolutely connects. You start to see your little hand connect to it, like grab onto it, up on the ceiling. Deals 5 damage.
Have some necrotic damage, friend.
Beautiful.
You scared
As
me.
you, as the hand touches it, you see like a little jolt as the ooze just falls down to the floor with like a little bounce to it.
Splat.
It's gonna take.
Splat. Oh god, what's it gonna do now?
Splat, splat, splat.
It's gonna take.
Lovely.
Yikes! 10 damage in falling damage.
Fall damage. I fucked this thing up.
Classic falling down.
Yeah, so despite the little bounce, it just like dissipates and like sinks into the cavern floor.
I am immediately gonna go check this fucker out and see what is up with you. What's up with the remains of this
Can I get a perception check from everyone else
that
but
I
Sev?
just obliterated? Oh no!
Derp.
Me,
Please, guys.
I'm working on it.
Yep, no worries.
I no longer am rolling major. Sorry.
So, perception is...
It'll be
You can
towards the
read
left-hand
God's
side.
mind rolling
Um,
perception.
From where you see
God
the
says
ability
hello.
scores, to the like just to the right of that, you'll have your set of skills. You can click
Yeah.
on perception. It'll be, I
Okay.
think, towards the bottom.
Around charisma, and then move your eyes to the right.
There you
Yep.
are.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So Gale and Jinprax, you see this ooze just fall from the ceiling, go splat right onto the ground, and you see Sev just run over to this thing. Rayleigh, as you take a look around, you see that other oozes start to creep out from the cracks and crevices in the top of the ceiling.
This is fine.
Oh, yay.
This is fine.
This is fine.
How do I set? There we
Great,
go.
guys. I love this for us.
Crap.
So
Of
since
course,
he's
there's one,
fine-
like, right by me.
Yeah. I
There
mean,
we go.
wait, so, but I killed one, so that one's dead, though, yeah?
Yes, let me mark that.
Yeah. I just wanted to check it out, and its buddies showed up because I fucked it up. Okay, it's just looking at. Well, I don't see them yet.
So yeah, they're all on the ceiling still. Sev, as you're rushing over to check out the ooze, you feel like it. Like how do you want to check on it? Do you want to like touch it? Do you want to just look at it?
I am going to look at it. I'm going to take out like my dagger and kind of poke it, I guess.
Sure.
Like a dead
Jeez.
jellyfish.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
dead jellyfish.
as you're like half dissecting this, half poking this, you see that there's like a thin membrane covering over where the actual ooze was. It appears to be as if it ruptured from the fall. Inside it, as you're like poking around, you find a couple of silver pieces and like
Oh,
a scratch of like faded, torn off, broken bits of paper.
Paper.
It's a carnivorous
paper and money. It eats money, guys.
It eats money, yes.
It eats
the
money.
paper- Does the paper say anything on it?
Does it?
Nope. It looks very faded, very yellow. And like it was just like a corner of a page that was torn off.
It's like searching the dragon and finding it's eaten a guard.
Oh yeah, you just see the guard remains. Have you been playing a lot of Skyrim recently, Hope?
No, but I'm in a group, and I mean, to be fair, I always talk about Skyrim a lot.
That's fair. It's a good game.
It is a good game, and I have spent quite a bit of time on Facebook today, and the group that I'm in keeps posting just headachy shit. So yes, it's on my mind today.
All right. So I'm going to say, as you're looking around, trying to poke and prod this ooze, what is everyone else doing?
Now that they're
Yeah, no,
now
go
that
ahead.
they're multiplying, I'm gonna be more wary of them and actually want to attack one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into combat order if we.
Can I? How does Hail of Thorns work? Can I cast it and then? Do I cast it and then attack, or isn't it attack itself?
For what now?
For Hail of Thorns?
Oh, Hail of Thorns, good one. I would personally recommend saving that for when you have multiple enemies lined up in a row, considering it is going to spread out the attacks within a 5-foot radius of that one thing.
Yeah,
So-
I wasn't sure how big 5 feet was in this cave, so okay.
So
That's
5
okay.
feet is one tile. Each
Got it.
tile is a 5-foot distance. In combat, you have a few different actions you can do. You have a full action, a bonus action,
That is a full action. I believe,
movement,
So.
and then a free action, able to like interact with something or talk or whatever else. Things will be very specific about how they're going to be used, such as Hail of Thorns specifically says bonus action, an attack is a normal action, stuff like that. And if you're ever confused, feel more than free to ask.
You said
I played a ranger
bonus,
before,
normal, and
so
what was
I'm-
the third one?
Bonus, normal action, movement, and then free action. Able to like interact with the world around you, like pick something up, or like talk to someone,
Like-
say stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
But
fantastic.
yeah, I would definitely save it. But a regular attack, honestly, is probably your best bet.
Yeah, right now.
With them spread out like this, when they line up with each other, that's when you want to do Hail of Thorns.
All right, so let me roll some initiative for these slimes.
Weird little shits. Of course, you put fucking slimes in this game.
Why?
I've just
Why
been
wouldn't
waiting
I?
to see how long it would take.
Does one of them say, "Hey, it's Dale"?
You know what? Should.
The one I just killed was Dale himself.
Great.
I just killed God. God himself was coming out of the walls as a slime, and I struck him down with necromancy.
Level
I'm
2,
sorry,
and I've already
babe.
killed God. Come at me now. There's nowhere to go but up. You know what, guys? With like, based on the way that y'all have played so far, I would not like question it.
So it's just it reminds
Never
me
doubt
of
your
like
PCs.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. We've got some really slow slimes. So that's cool.
And to be.
We'll start up with
this.
We'll start up with Raleigh. Is there anything that you'd like to do? Is there a specific slime that you'd look to target first?
I'd like to target the one that's close to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good move.
Sure. So that's like 15 feet up in the air. Well, I mean, on the ceiling.
Okay, and I want to attack it with a bow and arrow.
Sure. Go ahead and click on the bow or on the character sheet. Fantastic. And with a 15, you absolutely hit. I like how it rolls damage for you too. That's nice. Yeah. So you let loose the arrow. It connects with the ooze as it's like just coming out of the crevice, and the arrow like sticks in it as it starts moving out. Is there anything else you'd like to do on this turn?
Looks like I'm already in the corner. Otherwise, I'd move back a little bit from it.
Yep, right where you are, you're like as far as you can get in the corner. You can like try to get up on a couple of rocks if you want. Take like half a foot up.
And can I look around and make sure that I'm not gonna step into something else, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you look behind you, it doesn't look like you would be stepping into anything. You're just stumbling through rocks from one of the. It looks like they've been. What they've. They fell down from like the tremors up above, shaking the ceiling loose.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get comfy up on the rock perch and just have my bow and arrow ready for next time.
Sure, fantastic. And from here, we will start up with the start of initiative order. Gale, what are you looking to do? Right now, you have now that your attention's been drawn to it, you have the slimes that are all 10 foot up to the ceiling, and you have the one that's 5 feet away from you, the one that Rayleigh just shot an arrow at, and the one between Jinprax and Elmway.
If I were to move, would it provoke an opportunity attack?
Absolutely not. They're 10 feet up high, so they're not even within range.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to make sure like they're on the ceiling, so.
Yeah. As long as they're still on the ceiling, we can move freely.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but we probably can't hit them with like a sword.
Right, because they're not within like just melee range.
But I can chuck fire at it.
That you could do.
Fire.
Whoa.
Fire.
I can see that just like sick smile in Gale just start to like creep over and like just fire in the eyes. Fire.
So I'm gonna be nice and shoot at the one that our new friend shot at.
Cool.
Is that nice? You're doing a kill steal potentially.
True. Trying to steal the experience.
13.
Fantastic. As you launch out the bit of flame from your hands, with the slime like just coming out further through the crack in the ceiling, you start to like encapsulate the entire body. The like arrow shaft that's stuck in the slime just starts burning and catching on fire. Go ahead, roll damage.
Womp womp.
I described that so fucking badass too. God damn it. It takes 1 damage.
Tragedy.
Turns out slime not very
Really not
flammable.
rolling hot.
It's resistant to fire.
Oh, it does nothing.
No!
Does it do nothing?
I think if it's resistant, it'll do a minimum of at least 1.
Okay.
So like 1
Like,
damage will be
actually,
1
or are you
damage.
just trolling me right now?
No, that was a joke.
I think that's a thing
but
too.
it's just like to explain the dramatic flavor to just 1.
One.
One.
Feels bad.
Like maybe you the entire blast, you caught the arrow that stuck out of the body first, and then that was like the big
Yeah.
flash, and then it just slowly creeping onto the body before it like fades away.
Well, pooper.
It's like when you throw a match into like some mud.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
man.
I will move here. Just so that I'm not too close to any of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we are over to Jimprax's turn. What you doing, Jimprax?
All right. Jimprax is going to move over towards our new friend since he's a little bit like concerned about him. His mental state. He seemed to be very laissez-faire about everything that was going on, despite the fact that he's missing for like assumed days. So he's gonna come over and yell some profanities at the slime that everybody's been going off at to see if
Yeah.
yelling profanities at a slime does anything.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me! Oh my God! Look at this max damage
Not
we're all rolling today.
again.
This is like
What
attack.
happened with the Ankeg?
Yeah, this is like attack of the Ankeg.
Ankeg point 2.
This is where you find out that I've really like given you a cursed item, and like it affects you outside a game.
Oh my God! Petrifying. Jimprax, yeah, he takes out his dulcimer and strums a kind of weird like dissonant chord, not to cast dissonant whispers, but yell at this slime. God, the line I just thought of was like the most profane thing I could have ever thought of. God, what's wrong with you, Shuai? I'm not gonna say it because it was horrible.
God.
So he'll say instead, I've seen better slime come from Auntie's
God.
Jello salad, and yeah.
Jesus.
I'm
Scandal.
gonna type in Discord what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
It might be too raunchy for Discord, to be honest. But yeah.
you speak
What
your
happened?
words, and they like echo around the entire cavern around you. Through the like explosion of Gale's fire, you don't really see if it's taken much effect, but you see like a slight little like shiver as the smoke clears away from Gale's fire.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's like jiggly jello.
Yeah.
Jiggly yellow, jiggly jello, wiggly yellow. God, oh my God.
What is happening? What is happening in our Christian Minecraft
Damn
server?
it, jail.
This
How
is
did-
a Christian Minecraft server, sir.
Oh my God. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'll give Bardic Inspiration to our new friend.
Cool. Fantastic. So inspiration is a thing that
I
bards
assume
can
Hope
do.
just saw the...
I did.
Oh, I missed that. Oh no.
Yeah, that would have been a
Inspiration.
little spicy.
Oh god,
Uh,
Would have been too hot of a take.
Jesus. Inspiration is the thing that bards can do. It when you make a roll before it's determined to be a success or failure, you can add that roll to whatever it is, whether it's an attack roll, saving throw, an ability check.
general check. Yeah.
I think
it
that's it.
can't be used. The only things it can't be used for are for damage or adding to
Right.
like AC.
Right. Okay. So we will end Jimprax's turn, and that takes us up to Sev.
Okay. You know, if it works, it works. This is a very
Fair enough, Kev.
persistent slime. Holds dead.
Okay.
Give me that wisdom save, slime.
Wisdom save. I think that is a you. Yes.
How wise is this slime?
You would assume not very, but you never
Slime
know.
of the cave, what is your wisdom?
What is your wisdom? It rolled a nat 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see. The slime is not wise.
Go ahead, roll your damage.
Bring out your damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Talking about.
You snap your fingers, and with that, with the last cast of the spell, as the words
Ding.
ring out, they just become like the sound of a bell, and the slime doesn't quite fall, but it seems as if like all life has just left its body, and it's just hanging in the crack of the ceiling.
Jimprax grumbles and says, "I helped too."
Well, we're not level 3 yet. We don't have cutting words.
I don't think I get cutting words at level 3. I think it's later than that.
No, it's 3.
I wouldn't know.
It is? Oh, cool.
It's like the last, like, it's the big thing that bards get. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Sev?
No.
Fantastic. With that, we head on over to Raleigh. Is there... What would you like to do?
I have a question. What
Yep.
is the range on a bow exactly?
I should have
You
the
are
range
fine.
listed there for you.
I can tell you right
Depends
now,
on the
you
bow.
are well in range of. Longbows are going to be
think-
good with anything in this room.
I think it has
10
a
feet up.
maximum range without any penalty
it
up to 30
says-
feet, or sorry, 60 feet. And then after that, up to either 120 or 320, based on if it's a short bow or
20
longbow.
For a long...
Yeah, it is 150, 600 for a longbow.
150. All right, my apologies.
That's why I'm saying you don't have to worry about range in here. This room is fine. Like you will hit. You are in range of anything you can see in here.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'd like to
Oh.
target the slime on the bottom corner.
This one here?
And yeah, and
Okay.
shoot it, and then take a step towards it. Move towards it a little bit.
Sure. If you look down your character sheet, you should see your speed up at the very top towards the middle between your AC and then initiative and then speed. Speed, I believe, should be 30. That means that you can move up to a maximum of 6 squares in your turn.
Okay, then I'd like to move 2 squares down.
Sure. Go ahead, roll me that bow.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful. As
Probably
this
will do it.
ooze has like just gotten out of its little crack and starting to move along the sides of the sides of the ceiling, you take one look at it, like you spring right from the slime that's right next to you, just load in the next arrow, quick turn, release, strikes right through, and the ooze falls to the ground.
Splat.
Yes, with a very big splat.
Good shit.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I do have a question. So I have a limited number of arrows, right?
Yeah, I believe you start off with 20.
Yeah, so when you shoot an arrow, it just breaks, right?
Not necessarily. I think that's kind of up to the DM, right?
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think you can
one of the-
scavenge.
yeah, you can try to scavenge to see if you get anything back. The way that I handle it is really, really easy. I'll just make it like a check at the end of combat if you want to try to get them back, and then I'll
Okay,
roll
sure.
and see how many we get back.
Sure, that sounds good.
Yep.
So I think I'm good now.
Sure. Did you still want to make that movement?
Yeah, I would like to move 2 down.
Sure. Go ahead. You can click and drag. I am leaving that all up to you guys.
There we go.
Cool.
And that takes us off to our slow boys. It is the return of the
Slow boys.
slimes. And the two slowest boys, well, I'll say the two
Well-
fastest boys, have kind of been vanquished.
And dead. Yes.
So
There's only one.
we come
Oh,
down
no.
to the last slime in the top left. It's going to move down a little bit and try to drop onto Elmway.
No!
Our boy.
He didn't get a turn.
He did not.
No, he didn't.
Why?
I mean, does he have a bow though? I mean, he could throw the daggers, I guess.
Yeah, Elmway has the dag. Oh, I didn't even add him. I rolled for the stuff. Oops.
Yeah.
I mean, he was my slowest boy, so.
Yeah.
And that is going to be plus you. The slime kind of just drops, like right at Elmy's feet. Doesn't it for whatever reason it just misses. It like makes some wrong calculations as it's trying to get down and just arrives down at Elmy's feet.
I
And this is
imagine
where-
the slime is like that meme of the woman doing math in her head.
Just making all the calculations. All right, well, the air velocity, and then the speed, and then my mass, and then their mass, and the gravity. Yes! Oh.
Splat.
Being prepared for the fall, it does not take fall damage, though. And it doesn't
Yeah,
look as if
I
it's
would
been
assume.
damaged. It kind of just like, as it lands on the ground, you see like a little jiggle. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's going to bring us off to Elmley, who is going to try to stab the slime as it just appeared right in front of him.
Fuck him up. Doesn't have
Ooh.
flanking though,
Beautiful.
but he did
Um,
apparently.
So he is going to go hit it with his first dagger. And then it's going to be 4. That is not how that works. How did that... Did I just do basic math? I think I just did basic math. Thank you, Roll20. I don't think I rolled.
It did the same thing, that the same errors that I was running into.
I mean, hey, I'd
There
be
we
into it if
go.
you rolled a 124.
No, it's a 1. Oh my god. I don't know how to play D&D, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's
There we
hard,
go.
man. It's
I had to
Marty
roll
can
like
do it,
5
okay.
times. My god. So he's gonna go stick his one dagger into the slime and just like rupture through the membrane and like starts
Ew.
the parts of the ooze are just gonna like start like spilling out. He's gonna try to reach
Ew.
for his other dagger and go in.
With the other one.
Surprise.
Yeah, but his
attack.
offhands.
Max?
So he's using his bonus action for his offhand dagger.
Oh, okay.
And that does not connect with as much momentum as like he's slicing with his main hand. He tries to like reach around with his offhand and just whiffs above the top of the slime. And that is going to take us over to Gale.
All right, Fire Lord.
Fire Lord Gale's Eye?
Well,
Fire Lord.
seeing as how fire didn't work this so well, I'm gonna try frost this time.
Okay, Todoroki. Fuck him up.
Well,
Todoroki now exists.
these things are resistant to frost and fire.
Oh my god!
Todoroki was rendered useless.
Surprisingly
It's
not
like
arrows,
the
which is what I feel like
guy.
slime should definitely be resistant to.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
Let's
So
see
that
if
is
it passes a wisdom check or a constitution
that's a
save.
con save.
Does Todoroki exist in this universe now?
It does now.
Is My Hero Academia a school we can go to? Or could that
Dude.
have been my bar college?
We were watching My Hero before D&D. We finally got up to
Literally,
episode like
there's been there,
98.
so-
Like we're almost to 100. We're almost at the end of season 5, and I'm so
love how-
happy.
I love
Why are
that,
you
like,
over it?
It's 98, and he's like, oh, it's almost 100. I'm like, yes, babe, 98 is almost 100. I'm glad we had our math lesson today.
I can do
did
math
our
better
math
outside of Roll20.
Yeah.
So you try and try and try to cast. It does not succumb to the ice and the frost. It passes the save.
Todoroki, you need to
Well.
enhance your- work on that hero fortitude.
He still hasn't gone through the arc where he is like okay with his dad.
Take some lessons from
No.
Endeavor.
I quit.
Gale just throws his quarterstaff down the ground, stomps out.
Fuck done.
But yeah,
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
basically just grumble that my spells aren't working and end my turn.
Sure thing. That brings us
Yeah.
off the Gimprax.
Your spells aren't working. Maybe you need a little bit of the power of music at your side, I say as I cast Vicious Mockery like an idiot. Oh my god! Guess what? The power of music also isn't working.
I'm sorry,
Oh
guys.
my
I
God.
apparently stole all the good rolls tonight.
How
Hey,
does
can I go back
that?
to rolling 124s?
Yeah.
Might have been pretty good.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, what
And
is
I
going on? What is going on?
Can I like roll real d20s? I got a bag like right next to me.
Oh my god, you don't want to know how many dice I own. I had a
Same.
different set of dice for every character, and I got
that's amazing.
superstitious. Like, I cannot use my warlock dice to play the rogue. It's not gonna roll well, and so like if I was stepping in for another warlock, I gotta bring my own warlock dice out. Like, I can't use my blood hunter dice to play a warlock.
Unheard of.
They're all just shades of green though, because green is good.
All right.
Making my
uh,
character, I specifically said that he wouldn't be good up against slimes, and so I feel like I inspired this encounter somehow.
Oh, I've had this one planned for ages now, so no worries there. That is you and you,
Wait,
and
so what happened with my Vicious Mockery? Did he save?
it saved. Does not even acknowledge anything was
What?
just said.
Jimprax goes and quits with with Gale.
I guess I kind of
Okay,
glare
well,
at
yeah,
Jimprax
how do
and
you-
say it's just as effective as your stealth song.
Oh no.
Jimprax doesn't say anything. Let's leave the quips away from each other and direct them at our enemy, shall we?
Oh my
Yes.
god, I'm shook.
Shook
Jesus.
it.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Jinprax?
I'll give. When I say that line about the quips, I give bardic inspiration to Gale.
Fantastic.
Lol.
We can't use it on damage though. Sorry, I'm not that type of bard.
As the words leave her mouth, Jinprax, out of the corner of your eye,
Oh
you
no.
see an ooze
No!
come out from one of the
Dale.
I hate
From
you. Oh my god.
the
We're
corner
not competent enough for
of the
this.
room. It's still on the ceiling, but it's right between Jimprax and Rayleigh.
It's okay. Me, Raleigh, and Emily got this.
It's going to try to drop down right where it is, lands on the ground. You see a little jiggle as it lands, and it's going to end its turn. Sev, that brings us off to you.
Okay. Hi, new friend. You are suspiciously close to me, and I don't like that. Have a chill touch. Fuck!
Oh no.
This is a thought.
That it's
my
just going to be the other ones that'll help, and not including you, my dear.
So my crit fail table is only for like physical damage, not for spells. So
Yeah.
let me take
The
Do it
spell
live.
backfires.
Is this gonna work?
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Have a bonus action for healing, don't worry.
Thank you.
I have a regular action for healing if we need.
Where
Good.
is
Roll damage on myself. Oh no, I don't like it.
Alright, well I guess I'll just use the regular one. We'll work it for you. Weird. Okay. Don't take forever to load. That is a 2. Okay, so with the... Yeah, so you drop your weapon. So using the spellcasting focus, which I assume is your spell book?
Yeah.
you try to like flip through the pages and direct the energy out to the slime, but there's a little bit of like resistance in your fingertips as you just drop the book on the ground.
Fuck. Okay, so do I take 2 damage then?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay.
So is there anything else you'd like to do?
Pick up the book and get ready for the next one.
Fantastic, yeah. You pick up the book, dust off a bit of the dirt that got kicked around.
I'll be like grumbling. Goddamn book dirty. Like gonna clean off the gem with like my shirt. Like it's supposed to be shiny. I just polished it.
All right, well, that'll take us over to Raleigh. Is there anything you would like to do?
Be
First
competent,
and then attack?
please.
What's up?
Damage.
Can I
you
move first and
books.
then attack?
How dare.
Or is it always
Sorry.
attack and then...
People are talking, so I can't hear. What?
Sorry.
Can I move first and then attack?
So with where you are right now, you are within 5 feet of an enemy.
Yeah.
You can use your main action to, instead of attack, you can choose to disengage and then choose to move. If you don't choose to disengage, when you attempt to move, the enemy will use its reaction to provoke an attack of opportunity where it can try to swipe at you as you're trying to move away.
Do you have a melee weapon?
I have a dagger.
I think you should stabby, but do your thing.
Yep, you can go ahead and drop your bow to the ground and then pull out the dagger. And
Okay, sure, I'll try it.
yeah. Fantastic.
Stabby.
Yeah, you see this thing
Okay.
just whip around from like the back of your eye. You hear a slight like grunt and grumble from Sev beside you. Turn around, you see a slime. Just drop the bow down on the ground, whip out the dagger, go thrust forward, and you connect, breaking through a little bit of the membrane. Dealing 4 damage.
Damage.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I can't move away from it. Then there's not a lot that I can do, is there? I mean, besides just watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can watch it as paint dries. True, fair enough. I just always want to ask to make sure if there is anything that you would like to try to do, we can clarify it and go on from there.
Okay, sure, thanks.
All right, so that's going to take us back over to our slow boys who are dead. And the slime is going to try to wrap itself around Elmley's legs and try to constrict him.
He's a person too.
So that's going to be a U plus U plus U. And it rolls a nat 1. Oh my god.
Yay!
Yes.
They do more
Okay.
damage to themselves than we do to them.
So let's see here. What am I going to do for this? That's going to be a U plus U. And that is a 13. What's a 13?
Spontaneously combusts from delayed
He
spells.
just dies.
Slip up. You lose your footing. Dexterity, acrobatics check. Turn is ended and melee attacks have advantage on you. Okay. So we are going to go roll for... That's...
So I'm just assuming the slime tripped somehow.
Yeah, as it attempts
I'm
to
impressed by that.
as it attempts to swing up around Elmley's legs and feet, it rolls.
There's a little crevice it gets stuck in.
Yeah, as it's moving across, there's a crack in the ground, and it just rolls into it and then gets stuck, and it's wiggling around. It can't move.
Oh, no.
Its turn is going to end.
It's kind of cute.
It's that
I almost feel bad for it.
In which case,
Except for it's trying to kill us.
Elmley's turn is up next, and he's going to take full advantage, pardon the pun, of the situation. And he is going to make a straight attack right on top, into the undersides of the slime.
Stabby.
And he connects, so that's only one. Are we going to get anything better? No. Okay. It's going to be U plus U plus U. Oh, it's going to be plus U. Okay, hits for 4 damage. Not too bad, as he takes his dagger back, just swings it around, and the slime just kind of falls limp and settles into the crack that it found itself in.
R.I.P.
Rip
Yes,
in peace, slime.
Rip in peace indeed, you poor bastard. You're not long for this world. Gale, we are
You have
back
made
up to you. I'm
yourself a
sorry.
tomb.
Mr. Firebender person, we are
Oh
back
my
up to you.
God.
You're okay.
Zuko. Prince Zuko.
Zuko, Katara,
You know what? I'm
Totoro.
going to try fire again because that was marginally more effective.
Fantastic,
Was it?
abs- absolutely.
1 damage versus none.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give it to me.
They have enough range, so here goes nothing, literally.
That's a straight attack roll, right? Yeah, absolutely that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
There we go. Now,
There
please
we go.
roll damage. There
Beautiful.
we go. You did it.
You
I
hear
did
It just took some making fun of you.
Yes.
you hear the grunt of Elmley and the slime behind you getting caught in the crevice as you turn around from hearing Sev mumble. Oh, my spellbook, mumble. And the dagger from Rayleigh.
I'm
You just, instantly
picturing,
shoot out a burst of
fucking
flame.
Deku, mumble.
Yeah, he's writing stuff down. You turn around, shoot out a burst of flame, aiming it perfectly in between Sev and Rayleigh, right at the slime, as the
I'm gonna
slime
look up
burns
and
down
be
to a
like,
crisp.
huh? Was there something
Load
happened?
up
I didn't look
real
at the book.
good.
Beautiful.
Are we good? What happened? My book got a little dirty.
I think it's done.
Okay.
Well done.
All right. I reckon we should be moving on because it's a little slimy in here, and I don't know where more of these things are gonna show up from. So I say we skedaddle.
That sounds good to me.
Can we move forward where the slimes were coming
this-
from?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
yeah.
could get slimes on our heads.
So,
Can I get my arrows and maybe one of the mushrooms if they're useful?
maybe one of the what?
You mentioned
The
mushrooms.
Oh.
Before slimes
Will they-
appeared.
Absolutely.
Will they fortify smithing?
Go ahead and give me a survival check for the mushrooms.
Sure.
Mushroom,
I just-
mushroom.
No.
Badger,
Since
badger,
we
badger,
all
badger,
know-
badger, badger, mushroom, mushroom.
I have
So,
had
since-
look at my horse stuck in my head.
That's a
Yeah,
banger.
I-
20.
That is a good banger of a track from the old Weevil days. With a 20, you absolutely, like, with your time in the wilds and the forest and everything, in the marshes, you know how to just like pick mushrooms and make sure you're careful about it. You don't break apart the stalks. You just grab the whole cluster and you put it in your bag.
But are they
That sounds like-
poisonous?
Okay, sounds great.
Considering I know that these things eat money, I'm gonna see if any others have money. Because money is a nice thing to have.
Money.
May I roll investigation?
Glowing green mushroom. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Bitty.
Fantastic. With a
Alright.
14. Some of them do have money. As like you're prodding all the ones you can reach, you see a couple of copper pieces, one silver piece, and you have a bit of leather. It's just like a leather strip. Like, think of it like if someone's like trying to cut through leather, it seems like one of the leftover pieces that's a little bit frayed.
Gotcha. Alright. It might be useful. I'll take it.
I
Piece of-
suppose Jim Prax refuses. He's done a lot of things that, like, in the past he would consider below him. Going through dead slime goop for money is below him.
Okay, I have been on the run and I do not come from money, so I need to take it where I find it, okay?
Oh no, he's not judging you. He makes like a face.
Humph. Not
He's like,
not for
"Oh,
me.
well, yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Oh.
Money. I found some money. It's a
In the
little
ground.
icky, but if you wipe it off, it's like, you know, you find a copper on the ground, heads up. You gotta take it. It's lucky. Well, you
Gosh.
just gotta wipe off this goo on your robes and then stick it in the pocket. We're good to go.
Okay.
Oh.
Anyway,
All right. Well, with the encounter ends, Raleigh, could you give me a straight D20 roll? Just type in chat /R space 1D20.
Maybe.
What was I supposed to do? Something?
yes.
Yeah, I was asking you to roll straight D20. So if you
Okay,
can,
sorry.
enter in the chat /R space 1D20.
More Tabaxi luck points.
So /R. What is it?
Space 1D20.
Okay.
Fantastic. And with that 14, you can get half of the arrows back. You still got a couple in the ceiling that you didn't use. We'll say you get 3 back.
That's a good number.
Sure. Do I go to my sheet and then like remove 2, or?
Yeah, it's a good way to track it. Should be able to just like interact with the number, just like double click on it.
Yeah, it's 18 now.
All right, and everyone else, now that the encounter is finished, is there anything you'd like to do?
But by the way, I don't think we've actually introduced ourselves to your new companion. My name is Marvarax. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. Jim Prax has to pause because he wants to, potentially say, like bad stuff about Marvarax, but chooses not to. Because he thinks in character, like as Marvarax, that would be a weird thing to do.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. I'm Lee, just passing through.
And I'm John. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello, I'm Rayleigh Elwood,
Really?
a researcher and hunter from the Piddleglades.
Neat. Well, thanks for helping us out with these creatures.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yes.
expecting slime either.
Yes, and I'm
I mean-
glad to hear you're okay. I'm very glad that we were able to reunite
Yeah.
you and Elmwe.
And get here in time to help with the slimes. They would not have been fun to deal with by yourself in here.
No, I probably would have had to try and slink away from them.
Yeah.
Lucky that they weren't here while you rested and they came now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should try and find the rest of your party.
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
to check if my buddy's okay.
Elmley?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still over at the slime. Like he took down. He's just like wiping off the gunk from his daggers. He looks absolutely fine. A little roughed up from the other day, but there's a lot of spring in his little tiny feet.
Boing.
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 Boing, I feel left out now. I feel like I'm obligated to.
Well, anyway, now that introductions are done, we should move forward so that we can introduce ourselves to more people
Yes.
Yeah.
when we find them. Get it? Huh. Anyway,
So are we headed down further where the slimes came from?
Or is that like a dead end?
or do you by chance remember where you and your compatriots? Jim Prax would not know that word. Do you know where you and your friends got separated? Maybe we could use that as we can use that to help us figure out where to go next.
Out of game, for context for you and Rayleigh, would have been separated up above, the floor above. And Emily just like chimes in. Yeah, we never made it down here. We were up above, and that's kind of just where things kind of ended. We all got scattered. I don't know where anyone else went.
Right. Rayleigh, have you done any other exploring, or did you kind of just stay put once things got a little bit hairy?
I came from the floor above when I got separated, so I haven't really gone past this. Can I look around if there's any fauna or anything? Because I do speak to animals.
Yeah, so I mean, as you look around, give me a perception check.
Okay.
we can talk to the chicken now.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
oh,
about
yeah.
our chicken.
Oh, by the
And
way,
actually, when I'm not going to say this out loud, but like out of game, when I shapeshift, you might be the only person I can communicate with.
Oh no. Yeah.
Good point too.
so if you all check the Documents tab, should be the one that looks like a newspaper. Under Scrolls, you all should be able to see the scroll of storage and the definition for it, or the like description for it. I hope that is more. I'm pretty sure I like read it like exactly, but I hope that is like decent enough information for you.
Yeah, okay.
The chicken doesn't seem important to the process. It's the egg.
It is a by process, but it
It is
begs the
just like-
question: which came first, the egg or the chicken?
Well, the chicken, of course, because it,
Okay.
you know, we don't need to get into this.
Yeah, because the egg that was laid by a previous
laid-
chicken-like ancestor wasn't considered a chicken egg yet, so when it hatched and it was a chicken instead of the ancestor, then the chicken would have been first.
Smart. That's some big brain energy.
Oh, I was just talking about in the context of this puzzle with like this chicken specifically.
Well, yeah, the chicken literally comes first. 'Cause that's what's conjured first. We're not talking about like entomology.
Oh.
Does the chicken come from somewhere, or is it created? Like with a chicken.
It's a byproduct of the spell, I think. It's like how when you make like plastics and stuff, there's like pollution runoff. It's the same thing. The chicken in this case is the pollution.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna go back to it now. So the way that the scroll works, you place it down. You somehow are able to place an object no greater than 1 foot in any dimension on it. You say the first set of words for the incantation, and it becomes an illustration on the scroll. You can carry it around for an indefinite amount of time, and then whenever you want it to come back out, you can say the second set of words, the second incantation, and there's like a little poof, the scroll is consumed, and then there is a chicken that comes out from the poof. It lays an egg that contains the item that you had on the scroll.
Bonus
And so then we get the
eggshells.
item and a chicken.
Dinner.
Bonus eggshells.
But we don't quite know how it works. Like, we don't know if the egg just has the items if we break it, or if we have to wait for it to magically hatch, or what. Like, literally, we just have the scroll and those are the instructions.
Yeah, those are the instructions indeed.
Can
But
you
we do
keep
know
the
we'll have
eggshells
dinner.
afterwards?
Probably.
I haven't thought that far
Maybe.
ahead. It is magic.
Why do you want the eggshells?
Because you can like mash them up and use them as calcium supplements, I think.
Yeah.
For
Jiprax is horrified. The concept that somebody would do that he's upset.
Considering your dragonborn history being close to like lizards and birds and
I'm
I
pretty sure
can-
Dragonborn are hatched.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
if they're not, they are in my world, absolutely.
Yeah, he's just a little disturbed by this.
Like, that was my womb, and you want to eat it?
That was my personal
Like
space.
eating a human uterus or something.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
it's
Oh,
I-
we went there.
Moving on
Some
with a
weird-
5 in perception, you don't see any animals around.
so some weird people do indeed fry up their placenta.
we are past
Fuck.
we are past this. We don't need to know this.
To be fair, we did just see 5 slimes come through. I feel like no animals should be the correct answer to this question.
Well, we'll have some dinner later once we have this chicken. Once it lays the egg, just breaky on the neck and fry 'em up. I'm hungry just thinking about it.
With yes, that will be when we need to carry something rather heavy. We can also have some chicken to eat, but for now, we should probably get moving and find the rest of your buddies, right?
Let's move on forward and see what we can find.
Yes, let's.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
So you have a way off to the right, where the last final slime came from. You have the way that's off to your left, where you first entered this lower level. If you take a look
Slime
off,
Road.
if you take a look off to the, I can leave you there. Let's combine all of you so you can all see the same thing, and then bump. There we go. As you try to head off to the right, you see that there's just a giant chasm strewn about ripping the entire floor of the corridor apart.
Behind.
Man, it's a shame that we can't walk past this. If only we had somebody that could change their shape into that of a spider that could crawl alongside. That would be really helpful right now, Jimcrack says, mimicking a character named Shuai that he has heard about in storybooks that has once informed a druid of their true potential.
Oh, more Tabaxi luck points.
Oh my God.
I'm just reminiscing back with Almi, where I'm like, hey, this fellow looks like he could use some sleep.
That's
And John, you are a
not gonna be useful to the party if I'm the only one who can cross it, though. So maybe we should go the other way.
Yes, so.
Yeah. I just wanted to do some metagaming there. Yeah, okay, well I guess this way is not where we're going, so alright. Let's do a 180 then. Jimcrack
Yes.
puts his dulcimer away, and you forgot Elmwe do.
I know. He's not. You don't. He doesn't matter as far as sight goes, so I'm not concerned about it.
Okay.
But I'm just
Jimcrack's-
thinking that would Jimprax be that good with geometry to know that term, the 180 though?
That's a good point. Probably not. Let's do a 360. I've seen that recently be a meme about my life did a 360,
God.
so it went back to where it was. So let's do a 360 and keep going.
Oh, is this
Jimcrack
just-
also has-
So, I want to be careful about when I shapeshift because I only get an hour or so with it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather
Yeah.
use it for tanking, or if I happen to be in melee range or something.
This might
Yeah,
sound
no
really
problem.
dumb, but I feel like Jimprax's major inspiration is Zoolander, and I don't know how I feel about that.
When I created him, I was thinking of
Bronze
Zoolander.
steel.
Bronze
No,
steel.
No. Jimprax, I can tell you the origin story of Jimprax later, but the TLDR is I got way too attached to a character from a one-shot.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Relatable.
But Prax puts his dulcimer away and takes out his spear and is holding it so that the pointy end is facing upward, just in case a slime falls on his head.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's
Sure.
a good idea. I'm gonna have chill touch just kind of hanging out in the front of my brain in case anything shows up on the ceiling.
Sure. Absolutely fantastic. So I
Hey,
assume.
I'm just gonna assume I picked up my longbow after everything.
Yep. When you went to go collect the
Yeah.
arrows, I figured you'd pick the longbow up with as well. All right, and with that, I assume that we're going to make our way up towards the next room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as we all enter, you are greeted to another room that has some more of the collapsed rocks from the ceiling, as if they were thrown against the ground and just landed in the corners. There's more of the glowing green mushrooms, two along the right wall, one along the left. Right between the two mushrooms on the right wall, you see a skeleton holding a rather shiny and polished sword. And you see a skeleton off to the top, holding a bag.
I want to investigate the bag.
Check out the sword then.
I'll keep watch for slimes on the ceiling.
Can I perception check to see if it's safe to pick more mushrooms or not?
You can go ahead and give me a survival for it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, then we have Jinprax going to look at the bag and Gale looking at the sword.
God,
Swordy,
Jimprax, you dumb dummy.
Sorry, what am I rolling for this? Investigation or?
Yeah.
Investigation.
Fantastic. All right, Rayleigh,
Jimprax can't find the bag.
you find
That's funny.
the like you're going around the room collecting the mushrooms, same exact thing. You know exactly how to take them out, not disturb them. You go ahead, collect them, put them in your bag as like the green light starts to fade as you begin to like take them out, remove them from the wall around them. Jinprax, you so here's the thing.
Oh no.
You go up to the top skeleton and you go see that like his hands are just like clutching this bag tight. And you try to remove it. You see like a couple of the like the drawstring is like in between the fingers, as if like they were trying to like hold on to it, so just make it even harder to take out their hands. You're really struggling just trying to get these hands off of the bag. All you know right now is that it's leather. It seems like it's in a nice condition. It doesn't seem like really rough cut leather. It seems like there's been a lot of attention that's been given to the bag itself.
Shiny bag.
And Gale, you go down to take a look at the right skeleton, and in a similar thing, like its arms are crossed with the sword resting against its body as it's laying down on the ground.
Like it's been deliberately put there and interred, or
That's a thought. It definitely it looks as if it's been laid to rest, like the body's been laid down on the ground, arms crossed over with these sort of resting against like the length of its torso.
so it's been here a while. Okay, is there anything special about Z Sword?
Yeah, so look at the sword. It is really,
Shiny.
really polished. It seems brand new.
Shiny.
Go ahead,
Shiny.
give me a history check.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
I'm just thinking history.
Derp, derp.
What about Arcana? Could I make an Arcana?
It had
No.
nothing to do with it. I was thinking history as you're glancing over it, seeing if it had like any idea, if you could tell like what kind of make or like where it came from, if you had any knowledge of the like type of craftsmanship or build. You just think it's a normal sword that you'd see in some sort of like high-end shop.
Yeah, but still, it's heavily polished, but does it look new, or has it been there a while?
There are a couple of scratch marks and like bits, not engraved, but embedded into the blade itself as if it has been used a little bit, but it looks as if it is like just a couple of days old.
Okay, interesting. And the bones, are they human, elf, or is it like obviously like a dwarf?
It is on the shorter side. It doesn't look to be anything elf-like, human-like, probably dwarf-like.
Okay.
Ruh-roh.
I mean, but the dwarf that we are looking for has definitely not been here long enough to be that dead
No.
already. Like, if he were dead,
No.
there would be a
Maybe
corpse.
Could
they did
is
leave
this
a
in
bag.
character talking?
No, it's not.
Okay.
They did leave a trail, potentially. I mean, we found his bag or something up on the higher level.
Yeah.
And the slimes do seem to dissolve things.
So far from what you've seen, you've gotten Kuzel's helmet. You've got the armor pieces of a couple of Kuzel's buddies.
Dagger,
I think you did get the bag that was empty, if I remember right.
Oh, I thought it was the dagger.
Yeah, you got the dagger with the engraving in the handle.
Yeah.
Are there any engravings on the sword that might indicate who it belonged to?
There are indeed. What languages do you speak?
Let's see. I have Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan, and Common.
You see some funny etchings in the handle. Nothing that you can make out, though.
Gather around, everyone. Can anyone read this?
Can I check it?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Does
let's all check.
anyone have
Everybody read.
Dwarvish as one of their languages?
Dwarvish, Elvish, and Goblin.
Okay.
Fantastic. So, really, as you hear Gale asking him to gather close and pointing out the sword and these weird markings that he's seen, struggled to like get through them. You know, a couple of letters here and there, being from down south. You don't have a whole lot of dwarven contact, but through the thicket, through the woods, you're able to figure out the first name and what appears to be part of the last name. Put it in chat for you all. There we go. The underscore is the like one character that'd be difficult to parse.
Drogoki Ingotm.
Can we ask my friend if he knows the Fergoki?
If Elmley knows?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's see. The name sounds familiar, but I don't. He starts to
History
like
check.
pace around and walk around a bit. After like 5-10 minutes, he eventually just snaps. Yeah, I got it. So, they're one of the big names from out west. I believe they have like some sort of big like jewel mine or something. I think I've seen him over at the shop one time.
Interesting. Maybe we should leave it here.
Yeah, this seems like it was some sort of honoring of the dead, maybe.
Sure.
Could do that. I mean,
There was also this bag by this one, but I couldn't get it open. By I
Let
couldn't
me
get it
take a
open.
look.
I mean, I'm a little bit squeamish about touching, like playing with this skeleton man. If
I got it. I've dealt with plenty of dead people. Let me deal with it.
thanks, Lee.
And Meanwhile, I am going to be mumble about, like, that's perfectly good money in that sword right there, and you guys just want to leave it here and respect the dead or whatever, okay?
As
You
you,
guys are
If
killjoys. Mumble.
if
Trying to
it's
get
connected to the, yeah, I'm going to walk that back.
as you all are like playing amongst
Like he's not
yourselves,
feeling well. I'm gonna go walk with him so that I can maybe communicate freely with Gale. Do you think this has something to do with the jewelers or our not our gym practice Gale and Sev adventures?
It might, but the thing is, I just feel bad that if we were to take it, like, we might offend the person who hired us, which is why I want to leave it.
Oh, I completely agree. I think we should leave it because, I mean, my thoughts, if you will spare me them, are that probably the friend that went down here maybe went down to honor this person. Maybe there was some sort of dramatic accident that caused the rivals of the two, the two big jewelry businesses to have a fight, and this death was completely accidental, and that's why it has to be so hush hush secret, because our mysterious friend, is actually the long lost sister of or brother of this dead person here and wants all things to be neatly packaged up. So yes, I agree. We should not move this out of respect for both the living and the dead.
Yes, and actually that's a pretty good theory to go on, in which case, if there was some sort of kidnapping, we should probably be
Oh, I don't
careful
think.
about dwarves.
No, I didn't say kidnapping. I said accidental murder.
same thing.
Yeah.
Kidnapping, accidental
Come now,
murder
if you-
happens all
Oh,
the time.
God.
So what?
Yes,
would
come
you
on. If
like-
this is to be a romantic fairy tale, we need to, kidnapping is so messy. Accidental slaying of the rival business partner, who is actually your sibling's lover, is a lot more interesting. And I'm going to go with that. That's what's happening here.
If you say so. But anyway, we should probably return to the party before they get suspicious.
I don't mean
Yes,
to.
indeed.
So I don't mean to sway your minds. Just for clarification, when meeting with Mr. Mystery Dwarf, he did say that the only information he had to go on is that his friend was told a rumor about a gem that no one had found before in the mines, and that was what started everything. So make with that information whatever you want.
Is there an interesting...
Yeah, that's a very
looking-
generic. Jim
Can
Prax
I-
isn't having it. That's a very generic story that anybody could tell to hide the mystery of love and betrayal that is probably happening here.
Are there any interesting gems on this sword?
Can I
On the
inspect the
sword?
bag?
Well, I was also gonna go help because I said I would offer to try to get the bag out. So
Yeah, so
what should we
Rayleigh
roll for
and Sev can absolutely go ahead and interact with the bag. On the sword itself, there is like a small ruby inlaid into, I don't know what the term is, like the hilt, the handguard, where the the handguard would meet the blade. Before it
Cora,
before
get
the
down.
blade.
Sorry.
Is it called a pommel?
No, it's not the very end of it.
Okay.
I think I said that the ruby on the dagger, there's a ruby that was on the dagger's pommel, looks to be like a similar kind of cut.
Okay.
All right, as far as the bag, you two like try to fiddle with the hands. Try to like be careful not to break the skeleton off, but still be able to separate it. You're able to lift the bag out, take a look in it. I'm not gonna have y'all roll for like 1,000 failed attempts, but as you take a look inside, you see there is a leather-bound book.
Ooh.
There is
I'm gonna pull it out.
a
What's it
quill,
like?
pen with an ink bottle. And there is roughly about 20 silver pieces.
Oh, money! Puts them in pocket. Oh, I suppose you might want some of this.
I think I'm good for now.
Okay. You don't
Okay.
have to tell me.
Quite all right as well. Feel free.
Cool. Anyway, what's on the book?
Yeah,
Oh,
as
so
you
the book
try to
says- oh,
take a look at the book, you see that it has the same you see that it has like the same kind of markings as what was on the sword, on the side of the sword. This is much more in depth. What could potentially be a book title. There is a lock that is securing
wow.
entry to the book, as if it's
Hey, Elwie, you got any lock tricks for this?
Elmi's eyes just glow up as you mention his name, and a huge smile just takes over the lower half of his face. Yeah, you might say I have a particular set of skills. If you're gonna be needing them.
Don't potch, don't potch, don't potch, don't potch, don't potch.
So he's gonna come across. He's gonna take out just this like medium-sized pack, just spread it all across the floor, and try to like select the right tools he needs to try to persuade the lock to open.
God. You can just buy things like this?
Uh,
I mean,
he's gonna turn back around to Marvarax. Okay, so the guild might not know about this, and it might not be fully sanctioned. So
You don't gotta
if you head back over there, I'd appreciate it if you don't say nothing, okay?
you know what? Since you're
You have your
not
secrets,
saying
we have
nothing-
ours.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
My lips
Yeah,
are
so
sealed.
long as you don't reveal me to Jimprax, then I guess I'm fine with you having things that will allow you to break and enter into people's homes.
Look, all this I do is for good. All right, none of this is done for bad things or evil things.
Oh no,
If there's a place we can't get into, I'm your guy.
I kind of grab Marvin
I mean, hey.
arm and like start walking as
As you're
The other
dragging Marvarax away, he says, "Hey, it's great for sneaking into wives' homes while their husbands are away."
I roll
He's
my
given me
eyes.
no reason to doubt him so far.
Oh my god.
That's a really focused
Whatever you say.
Story of like the soap opera that is Jim
Prax's family.
life.
Jimprax's
Yes.
life. Yeah, if we ever reveal our true names to our new friend, he will explain everything.
After the job's done, maybe we can open up to new party member.
Yeah.
While you all are talking and bickering among yourselves, he tries to shove in some of the tools, some of the picks, and he's able to just crack the tiny lock open, take it off, unfurl the pages for you, and hands it back to Seven. Really?
Are they in
look
like
over
archaic dwarvish?
Yeah, hey, can you read this, pal?
Yeah. It absolutely is in Dwarvish.
Okay, so I take a hold of it and I try and read it. What do I roll again?
Don't need to roll. Nothing for now as you're going through it. When Elwie gave you back the book, I gave it to you with the like front closed, just right in your hands, and you now that you can like fully see what the front is, you realize that it is a title. It is the Journal of Dwark Kegarm, and dated just a few days ago. As you flip it open, there aren't many entries. Let me put the name out here for you. There we go.
It's awfully
So the
convenient to dates it like that.
So the slimes probably did get him if, like, the metal wasn't dissolved, but the body was.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was. Jimprax is slightly upset because that debunks his theory.
So yeah, as you're flipping through the pages, you see that there's only like 3, maybe 4 entries before the writing stops. It's all talking about how we shouldn't have come into the mines. This is more than we really bargained for. We're finding things that we didn't really need to go down here. Kuzul's been acting real strange.
Oh.
Hmm.
Can you
Gold
repeat that?
thickness on the line of here.
And then I should be able to get this for you.
Hang
let's
on,
see.
I gotta scribble some last frantic thoughts before we die so the players can have a semblance of environmental storytelling.
The last.
Conveniently date it.
Yeah, I mean it's like a journal, right? Like he has the dates
people date
at the
their
top
journals.
of every entry.
Great environmental storytelling.
And the last entry was marked for 3 days ago.
So right
The last entry
before we got
reads, "We've been going deeper and deeper, but we still haven't found anything resembling this gem. We've already lost a couple of our friends, and I'm scared we won't make it. Kuzo lost his helmet the other day. He's been acting different, but I've been scared to bring it up. We've thought through hordes of some nasty human spiders and some insectoid-like beings. I want to leave. I wish we never came here. Move out tomorrow, go deeper. Who knows what waits for us below."
Do you mind if we hold on to this? Like,
Probably
kind of turning to Rayleigh.
Sure. I mean, at this point, we already know what we need to know.
Yes, so it's very
Keep in
likely
mind-
that. Mhm.
Keep in mind that Rayleigh has no idea what is going on with Kuzul or any of what the party is currently looking to do.
I'm kind of aware of that, but I kind of want to keep the journal on us just as a memento for Dwarf.
For sure.
And
Dwarf
I'm going to
Hufflepuff.
kind of keep it that way and hope the two parties will conveniently be next to each other.
Yeah.
And unless it becomes absolutely necessary, I'm not going to say anything.
And the way I
Yeah.
look at it, they haven't given me any reason to not trust them at this point, because, I mean, they did
Who,
kind of
us
save me from a
three?
bunch of slimes.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, so I feel like the 3 of us are kind of looking like at each other, like as we hear the name Kuzul has been acting strange and all right, well,
That's the
going
name of.
forward?
Do we? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I kind of forget a little bit of like the lore of this current mission. That's the name of. Is that the name of the person we're trying to rescue? What?
Yes,
Why is that
it
name
is.
significant?
Kuzul is the name of the person we're trying to rescue.
Okay.
So,
So,
out of game, do you think we should come clean on this, or?
maybe
I was.
not yet.
Yeah. I would rather have this discussion in character, although I don't know how we could.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I'll say is that Reese was the only person to interact with the poster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he has no idea.
With what?
Reese was the only person to interact with the poster. The only one. So he's the only face that the mysterious dwarf knows.
Right.
But didn't he say
Yeah.
he had like multiple companions?
Yes, like Reese, when trying to reason with the mystery dwarf, he said, okay, I get the secrecy, the privacy. I have a couple of companions. We're working together as a party. We can try to take this on for you. And that's just kind of
where that it's like a guild thing.
Yes.
Because,
I mean, he posted it at the guild. He expects a guild party to get it done.
Okay, so maybe I was going a little overboard with trying to keep everything like super, super secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point, do we make ourselves more trustworthy by revealing the truth, or do we seem less so because we've lied for so long?
I think we should tell them the truth if we're going to continue on
Who's
further.
been lying? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Emily. I'm sorry, I forgot. What is your character's name, Wolf?
Rayleigh?
Rayleigh, yeah.
Rayleigh. We have something we think you guys should know.
I dropped my disguise self.
And
Hello,
I'll take my hood off.
Okay, what's the problem, guys? We still got a ways to go.
We do. We are actually on a job related to someone in this book. And we are actually guild members. We just wanted to keep it secret because there was
the details of the job were to keep it. Yes.
And we wanted to keep it secret from you, thus our hesitancy to have you join our party at first.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it was for the job. We were just trying to honor the wishes of the client. Yeah, I actually am Jim Prax. I'm sorry about that.
And
Marvarax is not actually my dad. Thank God.
I'm Sarah. You can call me Sev.
Jeez, that's a whole lot of information in a small amount of time. Okay.
Well, what really matters with it is that the only thing that matters is just really that our names are different. I think we were trying to keep the integrity of the job, but now things seem to be a little different, and it's not worth.
I'm not human either. Sorry.
I mean, I figured you was kind of off. I couldn't figure out much about it, but I mean, hey, you saved me. You're doing good. I mean, who am I to get caught up in the wrong side of business? I mean, sometimes I know those jobs. They sometimes they ain't so sweet. Yeah. You know what? No worries. It's fine. You Gev, save, jail,
much
whoever you are.
I'm no bloke either. Sorry.
Also, we'll still help your friends. We are guild members after all. And also we'd appreciate help with rescuing Kuzul, assuming we can find him if he's still alive.
Yeah, it's not sounding great.
I mean,
I'm just in his mental state. Not sure what's going on there. If he's gonna be easily persuaded, but figure out what's going on up there when we get there.
I mean, no complaints from me. I mean, we get a job done. We get paid, but I mean, I ain't got no objections. Really, what about you? Want to try to help him out?
I mean, from
I
my
mean-
perspective, I went from not knowing their name to learning their names were fake, and now knowing their names. So, I think I'm good. I mean, as long as I get paid, I'm happy.
I mean, oh man, when you put it like that, I mean, look,
Call
you
yourself whatever the hell you want.
you weren't there yesterday. Like they covered me. I wasn't doing too hot. I was gonna get bit by one of them the big bugs. I mean they helped me out. They had my back. I mean,
About that, I can turn into a giant spider, so if you do happen to see that, don't swat me.
he takes a step back. Okay, yeah, noted, Mr. Sev. Whatever you gotta say.
That's standard druid stuff.
Check spiders
Miss-
before I shoot them. Got it.
While you all are talking, he is going to ask, just to confirm, for you all to show the charms that you got from the guild.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Yep.
I
Well, I
assume we
mean-
got one of those.
Yeah, when you all started up, you made the payment. You had Matilda asked if you wanted the necklace, wanted the bracelet, and then had the charm. It gave you like a little prick. It like soaked up like a drop of blood into the charm, and then it was all good to go.
Yep.
All right, we show.
Fantastic. Yeah, this is, I mean, good enough for me. I mean, more the merrier, right?
Yeah. I
Yes.
actually have a quick question for you. How long have you been on this mission? Because what did you think my name was? You have you heard of me?
For Elmley?
Yeah.
How long have they been on here? For at least like 2 days, I think I said.
Yeah.
And then he heard of you through some friends who were in the Honeysilk.
Yeah, Jim Prax was trying to make sure his celebrity status is still,
His
doing okay.
mainstays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, yeah, I mean, it came through the tumbleweeds, but over in the, I heard you was like a big hotshot over in the Honeysilk.
Yeah, Jim Prax kind of leans a little bit. Yeah, that's why I had to go with the whole, lost stepdad sort of story and stuff. I wasn't sure if my, I don't know how, often people run into Dragonborn, and especially some as, any kind of shakes out his scales, shiny as I am, so.
Yeah, not so. I mean, I wasn't gonna say nothing at all, but like, sounds like you've got a really complicated like family history or something.
Anyway, let's keep
And
going.
I kind of just tuned out about halfway through. So your
Perfect.
business is your business.
You didn't need to waste any mental space on it because it was all fabricated. Anyway.
But for what it's worth, whatever we do here should be kept between the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Aye, boss. And he just like
Yeah.
holds the small lock that he took off of the journal up to his lips.
Sweet. Let's go.
Yep.
Cool. So you all head up the entrance to the right. Let me combine you all once again. There we go. You're going up a
Ranger.
there we go. A flight of stairs going a good way up, and you begin to hear some running water as it starts to spread along the like makeshift stone stairs. As it opens up, you see a closed off room with some large mushrooms and clusters of different spores and fungus.
Are we in Merlin?
Oh dear.
Oop. There we go.
Hi, suddenly you're in fantasy
Oh, boy.
Australia. Good luck.
Can I inspect the large mushroom?
Yeah, you can absolutely take a look at the large mushroom. Towards the top left, there is just a like stream of water gushing out from the walls. Towards the bottom, we've got the like clusters of green mushrooms growing much, much thicker and much larger.
I'm just going to be 1 second. I got to use the bathroom.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, well, welcome back, Gale.
Hey, sorry.
No problem.
All right. So, really, as you attempt to look through the mushroom, like right at the entrance off to the left, as you lift it up and you're like trying to like rifle through it, you see some like luminescent green eggs right at the very base of the mushroom stalk.
Oh. These eggs again.
Did you say eggs?
Eggs,
Yeah.
correct. Clusters of like very low light illuminating green eggs.
And
Bioluminescent.
Can I inspect them to see if I
And
recognize
ham.
them? Because I do have a nature check and things, right?
Absolutely, go
Wow.
ahead.
Okay. And it would be nature for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With a 13.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
so you're not completely familiar with this area. You do know some of the local life around, and you know that in mountainous areas there are often insect-like creatures known as onkegs. I believe that these could potentially be the eggs.
Smash them.
Do we know if this is an invasive species? Like, are these guys normal to here? Like, is this part of the killing of all of the bug missions that we saw?
I mean, these
Maybe.
onkegs, I mean, I haven't really seen many of them, but I mean, I've heard stories about how they're difficult for anyone trying to go through some sort of like mountain, cavern, or cave
Yeah.
or something. I don't think they're invasive, but I mean, they're definitely a threat down here.
So, real quick, so you said there's more just at the bases of the mushrooms other than what Rayleigh's holding?
So
Like,
far, I mean, the
I
only one
can-
I assumed he interacted with was the bottom one, or the one that he's like right next to this one. But yeah, as you if you want to take a look at the rest of
I
the
am
mushroom
going to
stalks,
I'm going to continue looking for any eggs, and I'm going to squish.
you are going to actively
Squish.
squish the eggs.
Yes.
I feel like this is a bad idea.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we should be on guard in case that causes things to show up.
I guess.
if hatch, produce flame, ready action.
All right, well, Sev,
Oh boy.
you approach the other mushroom stalks and collections, and among the fungi, you try to rifle through the very base to the ground, like towards where the plants start to like sprout from the walls. You see that there are clusters of very like lowly lit green eggs. As you're walking across the room, I'll say, where are you? It's not you. There you go. No, there we go. Like around here,
Yeah.
you lift open, like try to like look under the big mushroom flap crown,
Mm-hmm.
and you see among the eggs a
Oh.
freshly dug bit of earth, similar to the one
Oh no.
from the last knock
Okay.
egg.
No. We're Let's go. Let's go. Not down here. Leaving now. Leaving. We're leaving.
Is everything okay? What's going on?
Things are not okay. There is a hole over by the nest with the onkegs.
There's a whole.
Okay.
There's a
Danger.
whole what?
Let's go. I think we should go.
We're leaving. We're leaving.
Wait, why? There's a whole danger? A dangerous what?
On keg.
I think she means hole, HOLE.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, alright, okay. Starts heading down the stairs carefully.
Bye. This room is... God, I wanted to squish the egg so bad, but no, we're leaving.
Okay.
Well, seeing as how we're going this way, I think I'll pick up that sword.
Yeah.
Sure. Fantastic. Just gonna take it from the dead dwarf's hands.
Pry it from his cold, dead hands.
Fantastic.
Hey.
And can I have my bow out and ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chill touch. At the ready.
Right, and let's see here. So Elmi's going to be going out behind all of you.
Yeah.
Come on.
They'll lead.
I'm in the middle.
Fantastic. So as you're heading down, he is going to start playing in the water, in like little bits of the water, as you all are like walking down the stairs, just like splashing around and like washing his feet off and everything. As you all start to round the corner, you hear a little bit of a yelp from Elmley. As you look around to the right where the water ends, you see that there's like a little bit of a drop between the corridor walls where the water is flowing downwards into. You just hear his screams echoing along the walls.
Oh, so it's not a little yelp.
So
It's a big yelp.
The first yelp is him like falling, and as he's just like careening down this makeshift water slide, he's just shouting.
What the
I
fuck,
am. Is he like literally falling into like a pool of water, or?
Yep. The water here at the very end, as it meets the wall, there's like a bit of an opening that the cavern wall opens up a little bit. That a little bit larger than what he would be if he was just like on his back rolling down.
If I were to shapeshift into a spider, could I climb down it safely?
It'd be pretty wet. Going through the top of the entry, you could like safely, slowly navigate your way around like all the water droplets as it's being sprung upwards. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Is it too small? Is it like too small of an opening that the rest of us can't take the water slide route?
Yeah, him being a smaller being, like he's not quite as wide or as thick as all of you are, so he's able to like slide through. It would be too rough for the rest of you to try to like take the exact same route down.
Yeah.
Could he reasonably ride a spider?
Ride a spider.
Well, you'd have to catch up to him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What is what is it just a giant wolf spider, right?
Yeah, and like I'm
I
thinking
don't
halfling
know how
size.
I don't know how big they are.
Give me a sec.
Well, in any case,
I don't see
we
a
need to go after
size.
him. Yeah, we need to go after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only place that we know of that would be similar to that would be past where we saw the slimes.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. That's where we gotta go. We need to go get him.
Yeah.
Too bad,
I'm going to see
buckaroos.
if I can go tail him. You guys see if you can find another way down there.
All right.
And
right,
can
let's
I
go.
use
I
a
shapeshift into spider form and follow.
Hunter's mark. Hunter's mark him.
What?
What?
Why would you
I'm
hunters mark
saying-
an alley? An ally? I'm confused.
Because so we can find him and keep track of where he is. So like, because we don't know where he's gonna end up necessarily.
I see.
So like, because we don't know where the water leads.
If I remember right, need to see it within range, and he is currently way out of range.
Yeah. Okay. Damn.
Okay.
Can I use a perception check to search for animals on my way down there?
Like down to the base room.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just 'cause the animals might know, about the path.
Yeah. All right. And Gail's a spooter.
I'm a scooter, but I'm gonna follow the way that he went, I guess, if I can get there faster.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be flipping right back to
Because
that.
We just kind of,
You'll have
and we're just booking it, right?
Yeah.
drag me down to where he went.
Brilliant. So Rayleigh, with that 19, you do see that there are a few centipedes that are creeping out through the rocks up here. They're not being very active, they're just slipping in and out into the walls, rummaging through the rocks up at the very top. Otherwise, there aren't really any other sort of animals around.
Yeah, does speak with animals work with centipedes? I feel like that might.
They are animals.
An
Yeah,
animal.
I don't think there's any reason why I wouldn't.
Yeah, they're animals. They are an animalia.
Okay, so can I?
Ask them themselves.
Can I ask them if they know anything about the path that Elmarie went down?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you'll go ahead, cast Speak with Animals. Gale, you go, pfft. I'm Spider-Man.
I'm gonna I'm gonna flinch a little when he does that, but be like,
It's
sorry,
just Dale,
mate.
don't
Please
worry.
stay over there. Please, stay.
I
Thank
guess
As
I
you're
just
going
kinda
down-
wave one of my mandibles at her.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
You all. Where is your sense of urgency? Come on, let's go.
Alright,
I love that line. My one old roommate from college used to say that constantly. So I just had to bring it up.
So, I would have done this as a reaction to him going down, so,
Okay.
I kind of feel none of this discussion would have happened.
Yeah, I mean, you're
realistically.
completely removed from all this.
Yeah.
All
So yeah, you go poof. You are a spooter. You are starting to you just barely fit into the crack of the wall, and you start to move along the top downwards. Could I get a dex roll from you?
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Have fun.
Well, you have spider dexterity, so
Oh, yes,
Yes.
that's right.
Mm-hmm. So using the spider block.
Which is probably pretty
So
high,
I have
if I had to
dex
guess.
16,
Good.
but
Okay.
I don't know how to roll it.
Spider deck.
Sure, I just had that
Spider deck.
pulled up. Give me a second. Does it not say on
do,
D&D
I'm
Beyond
pretty
what
sure
it
you would
is?
do our 1d20 plus
Plus 3.
3, yeah.
Okay, cool.
13.
So you take your way very carefully. You're avoid any sort of large spots of water that make it difficult to try to traverse through. And you're after a good 10 minutes, you're able to get down to the end of the opening of the little makeshift water slide. As you get down there, you see that there's just a giant rush of water coming out from above you, slightly over, pouring out slightly over where the end of the entrance is. and you just hear along the like rush of waves and the tides, someone like swimming, trying to like gasp for air, eventually make their way up onto the coast, right in front of the water.
Follow as reasonably close as I can.
Sure. And that's where I'm going to go off to Rayleigh. You cast Speak to Animals. You approach the centipedes. As you approach them, you can see like 5 to 6 of them just all scurrying in and out among the rocks and going back between the cavern walls.
Hey guys.
Hi, guys.
So one of our friends just slid down the river up there, the creek. I was wondering if any of you might know the way to get down there.
No. We know wet. We don't like wet.
We don't like wet.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. We don't like wet.
That's a move.
Jimprax agrees. Jimprax also doesn't like wet.
It leads scary. We don't like. We hear spider go. Spider come from place. We stay out of way.
I love the way they talk.
Appreciate the warning. We'll be prepared when we head on down there. So I think that's all that we're gonna get out of it, really. So.
Can you ask
Okay.
them where to get there? Because we'll get rid of their problem for them?
I mean, sure, I'll try and insist again. Are you all sure that you all don't know any way down there?
How long was the
Anyway,
last?
but
10
maybe isn't
minutes?
wet?
Cool. I mean, it go top. You go up. Go from down to up.
Go from down to up. How very astute of these centipedes.
Has been very helpful. I mean, it has been, because we know bird spiders now.
To be fair,
But
these things have an intelligence of 1, so
yeah, I know. That's why I was worried that it wouldn't work. Well, I mean, I didn't know that it was 1, but I figured it wasn't high.
I'm trying to like think of it as like a 4 or 5 in this context, like being able to actually communicate with them.
Yeah.
The spell raised it for the duration
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
they
So that we could have this interaction work.
Though I don't think we should go up to go down currently. I think we should try going down first.
No,
But
down
they,
go
they
up.
said go up to go down.
go from down to up.
I see, yes. That's a good point. Thank you.
One of the centipedes just like it half of its body just like raises up, and you see just like 20 something legs just all like wriggling, and like it gives you a little bow and then goes back down to the wall.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I am back.
I love them.
As you
I hate but
as
they're
you start
funny.
heading back
Jimprax
towards
waves
Jimprax and Sev,
affectionately.
as you start heading back towards Jimprax and Sev, you like hear a little mumble like insect like speak. Just be like, that guy. You hear a little bit of like insect like laughing.
Insect laughing.
Like everyone else, you just hear like chitter, 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 chitter.
You know what?
And
Can we-
yeah,
I am going way over here where they are not.
To be fair,
Anyway,
in any other context, it would be pretty funny.
Did they give us any good information? We need to go.
We know there's spiders, and so we should be prepared to fight bone spiders, I think.
Why are they waving their creepy little legs at us? I don't like them.
It's fine if you don't like them for now, but let's deal with you not liking them later so we can rescue.
Well, if there's spiders, no problem.
You're going to have to deal with it. Come on.
I can deal with the spiders. They're just bones, but not much fan of these little things. We gotta go though. So
Yeah, Jim Crack snaps his fingers. Where is your sense of urgency? Let's go.
Sure, mate. Let's go.
Okay, so we should head on down.
Gale, as you start to like make your way across, I'll say like you're climbing along like the ceiling, make your way out of the hole. You're going along the ceiling, and as you come to the shore, there's a small little room, and you see Elmway just like lift himself out of the water onto the cavern grounds and just start walking.
I want to look as passive as possible so that he doesn't shank me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me stealth.
Oh,
I actually have a +7 to that.
okay.
You are a spider after all.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, there we go.
So like you make your way from the wall up to the top of the ceiling. You're just able to like peer down at Elmway as he's going across. He's trying to dry off, trying to like flick off water and just like.
Okay, so he's fine.
Yep, absolutely. He's not harmed in any way. He's done screaming, and he just makes his way down the stairs for the next corridor.
I will follow.
Sure thing. As you make your way down the stairs, you see Elmway stop. Right before him is a large opening that is completely
spider web.
covered by a web.
Oh
Of course.
no, but I can use my web sense on that somehow, maybe.
If you can get past Elmway.
See, Elmway is very perturbed.
Yeah.
Starts to get a chill in his spine, kind of like shivers a little bit before carefully making his way along the wall. Try not to disrupt anything, just taking a look around.
I'll follow behind his guardian angel spider.
Sure thing.
As Hope winces in pain.
So as you're making your way through, you notice some more of the glowing green mushrooms, one at the corner of the room you just, at the corridor you just entered, and then one at the very end over here by the ledge. Looking over the ledge from the ceiling, you can see the room below you. I'll just drag you down here real quick. As you look over the ledge, you see a bit of a ruined campfire in the middle of the room. To the left, you see
Is it
an entryway.
fresh?
It is not fresh. As in, like, not from today. There's nothing on fire. There's nothing that's smoldering. Looks like if any sort of activity has left.
Okay.
This room again has the glowing mushrooms. You got one down to the bottom, one to the right, mixed in between fallen rocks from the ceiling. And there appears to be two different exits to this room. One going to the left, one going to the right.
And this is looking down into the pit where
Correct.
the webbing is?
Correct. Like going from the ceiling, you're able to like look down over the ledge and you can see the room below. It's roughly about 50 feet down.
Okay, I'm still on the ceiling. Elmwe is there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, like, where Elmwe is that like another passage, or is this room basically effectively a dead end other than going down?
Off to the right, there is a passage that opens up.
I will take the passage.
Sure. Off to the right.
First, I'm going to see what Elmwe is doing.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Sure. Fantastic. Right now, he's just going to like start walking back and forth and start considering his options, trying to figure out what in the world he's going to do.
Okay, I'll wait and see what his next move is.
Fantastic.
I can only really do this once, like every hour or something, I think. So, like, I don't want to waste this.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. They'll bring us back over to Sev, Jimprex, and Rayleigh.
All right,
or like
so we're
twice an
booking
hour or something.
All right,
once every 2 hours. Yeah.
I think it's once every short rest or something. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah.
We're booking it.
Yep, we're booking it.
Sure. Want to get back to the slime room?
Yeah.
Slime room.
Okay. All right, could probably just get rid of all those.
I'm
oh my god, the corpses
like,
are disappearing.
I'm gonna kind of wince as like I see some of like the dissipated ooze.
Yeah, like at this point, like it's still like falling into the floor, and like it's just like staining the ground below you.
Icky. All right,
so before
we
you
couldn't get.
Is a crevice that opened up. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see what spells I have that might be useful for like blocking like some sort of explosion on the
Yeah, I don't really have anything that would be helpful here.
I mean, I've got shit like Burning Hands or Chromatic Orb. I've got that's not creature. Burning Hands would probably be the only thing, but is it really gonna like burn away the rock that's in the way? Probably not.
Well, the issue is it's a gap. The issue is it's a gap, right?
Mm-hmm. The ground has been like torn apart between the walls of the corridor.
Yeah, so it's like it's too deep. That's the issue.
Right. There's an open gap. As you like take a look down, it is just nothing but darkness below, and you can't really see anything.
I'm gonna send down and across some dancing lights just so everybody can see what's going on in the gap.
Yeah, sure.
And I do have dark vision, but you're saying it's too deep for me to see.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to see. I have superior dark vision, but I will still send down the lights for the sake of you. You can't see shit. I will send down the lights for courtesy, but I will also be able to see fine.
Yep, fantastic. So as you send down the dancing lights, that's 4 orbs, right?
Yes, but I can converge them into one so that it's more bright, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I'd say that you'd be able to like summon them all to cover the entire length of the gap
area.
See, that goes down about 30 feet, but like the shadows just make it so dark that you can't see it in what normal light there is in the dim light.
It's not that deep. I mean, it's not really a fall that we should just take jumping, but It's only about 30 feet down.
Well, how do you suggest we get across?
I have a rope, or I have a grappling hook and rope.
You what?
Yeah.
How did you get... Anyway, can we use that?
Absolutely. Pulls it out.
All right. I'm following you.
All right, you're going to have to explain to me how the hell you plan on using this grappling hook. What is your plan? Like, are you trying to Indiana Jones this? Are you trying to like just get it to the other side? Because there's a curve that you need to account for, so you can't just like reach the other end. Because I don't think I guess the ruler 2 would work. Yeah, it wouldn't be able to either hit the wall before it can reach the other end.
Well, I have a crossbow. Could we use your grappling hook to get to one, tie it to one, and then I can use my crossbow to shoot it to get to the other?
I have more than one hook too to work with.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so get us to the one, like shoot the diag, and then shoot the second diag, I guess?
Yeah.
I have hemp and rope as well.
Fantastic.
I do not. I just have some fancy clothing.
I've got some rope. Got enough rope. Got some chain. Should be good.
All right. I don't think we really have the time to look for another way, so let's hope this works.
All right.
Wait. Before you do this, I strum her a little positive message and say, if anyone can do it, it is Sev. I'm trying to think of a rhyme for the word Sev real quick. Sev, yes, it's she, will bring us all to victory. And I give you Bardic.
Thank.
Before you attempt
All right.
this.
Okay, so what am I doing here?
What are you doing indeed? I don't know what to do for this. If you're attempting to like throw... If you're attempting to like throw the grappling hook and try to get it like wedged into someplace, my first thought is honestly an attack roll. I don't know if there'd be anything better for that.
Yeah. Like just a straight roll?
Wait, I have a thought. Sev? And this is kind of in the constraints of the of your world. Jimprax suddenly he plays he says to Sev, you weren't there before, but sometimes I tend to get a little bit lazy, and I like to ask my friend to do things for me. And I strum and cast Unseen Servant.
Beautiful.
Unseen Servant. I just looked it up. They can fly.
Yeah,
so we can
beautiful.
ask the Unseen Servant to hook the rope for us.
Beautiful.
I knew Unseen Servant was a useful spell to take.
I'm gonna say for that, you are absolutely getting inspiration for that.
Unseen Servant. All right, so I cast my Unseen Servant, who I guess is invisible, but I imagine looks like a cute little kobold butler, a winged kobold butler. Since he can fly.
Kobold butler who can fly.
Yeah, because they can fly. And I say, let's get him to if you don't mind, can you if you would please hook the grappling hook so that we can create a way to swing across?
Yep. I'm gonna tie some rope to it and stuff. How much rope do I have? Let me check real quick.
I believe default should be 50 feet.
I may have bought extra though.
Okay. Well, and for this
We'll see.
distance, all right, you're trying to cover 20 feet. It's about 30 feet. Is that 30? Yeah, 30 feet below. I think just like the normal standard amount of like 50 foot would cover any sort of issue, depending on like how many grappling hooks you want. If you want to like try to swing from one around the corner and jump for it, or
So, unfortunately, I don't have rope. I have a lot of chain.
But,
no rope.
I had hit the rope up.
But yes.
Yeah, you have
You
rope
have-
though.
Yeah.
So we're
See,
fine.
we are fine. When I was getting supplies, I was more so thinking of how to restrain people a bit more securely than rope that could be cut. So that's why I have the chain, kind of push
No
it
need.
back in my.
Right, if you don't, if you could get this set up, my dear here will, get that all taken care of for us. And the unseen servant nods.
All right, rope, please.
And I give it to her.
Yeah. Tie in the rope.
fantastic. So yeah, like through all this exchange, right? Jim Prax cast unseen servant. Bada bing, bada boom. You're done to go. You don't. No one else sees anything, and this is all up to Jim Prax. However you want to imagine them. I love the like winged, like a spectral winged cobalt butler, like the little like coattails, especially.
Capital will carry out the
he's
orders forthwith.
adorable.
I just love that, like, all we're gonna be seeing is like the
Floating grappling hook.
and rope floating.
Well, yeah, they're supposed
Yeah.
to be invisible, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll be holding an end of the rope, but I'm just watching the hook like flying away. I'm like, huh.
Sure. Fantastic.
His name is Jeffrey.
Ah, yes, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Jeffrey. I googled an image
Classic
of him,
butler.
and I found what he looks like. He's adorable. I love him.
Oh, we need to see.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Here, I'll post it in the Discord. This is except for imagine he has wings.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Cute.
I love it.
Very cute.
All right, so
Jeffrey.
yeah, Jeffrey is able to set the grappling hook up in place. Where would you like it? Would you like it at the very middle and like try to swing through?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, that's probably going to be our best bet.
So Sev, you
And
are holding.
And before we go, I turn to Wolf's character and say, I know this seems a little bit odd, but this is kind of for the norm for us. You've got this, buddy. And I tap him on the shoulder and give him bardic inspiration as well.
Man, we
I
are
feel like we're
flying
gonna
through
need it.
these.
I have none left.
Yeah.
I
Man.
feel like if this is a risky play, and so I feel like it's probably a good idea to be handing these out.
Careful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
their
doesn't like we
candy.
need to swing around a corner.
Yep. All right.
All right. Sev, go ahead. Start to make your way through. Trying to think about what I would want for this. I think I'll take acrobatics. Yeah.
Did I take acrobatics? Let's see. Probably not.
I was thinking about either a
Yeah,
mix of acrobatics or athletics, depending.
No, definitely not athletics. Acrobatics it is. Guys,
Oh god. Yeah, the bardic isn't gonna save you for that. Um,
Oh no.
What
Can-
do I do?
oh god. Can
Oh no.
Jimprax retroactively like see that she's starting to fall and like try to jump and catch her and like swing, like go for the rope and
Earthbend?
her?
Sure, it's like try to pull Sev back, seeing that she has like a bad start.
Yeah, or like if she's falling, like try to grab her and the rope and like do the thing.
Absolutely.
In any way that I can attempt to save her, basically.
Go ahead. I'm trying to think if I want strength or dex for this. I think I'll go with dex based on the speediness of it. Go ahead, give me a dex check.
Just a straight dex check.
Straight dex, yeah.
Bam.
Oh my god! What is going on tonight?
Being, blessed being, oh my god, the dice
It's
have given
the
away and they're
boxy-
taking back.
Yeah,
Based.
the Tabaxi luck points. Those Tabaxi luck points.
Absolutely.
20.
Absolutely based. So Sev, as you're holding the rope in your hands, you start to make like a running jump to swing around, and as you start to like kick off, your foot slips and you don't quite get the traction that you're looking for. Jimprax, right behind you, ready to go, is just able to interpret what is going to happen, reaches out to grab you as their unseen servant swoops around from the front and knocks you back into them.
Jimprax breathe a heavy relief and laughs and says, if I knew you were gonna fall for me that quickly, I would have been a little bit more aggressive.
Can I use the free action to applaud?
Absolutely, you hear a little bit of clapping out in the back.
Okay.
The rope dangles menacingly.
Roses fall from the ceiling. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, let me give this one a shot. I'm, a bit heavier than the rest of you, so, probably me going first would make the most sense to make sure it's stable.
Go for it.
Alright. Acrobatics.
Go ahead. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay.
D20.
So you take the rope in your hands, you like run your feet back and forth, you take a running jump, and you're able to just sail off, bounce off where you were, and through like a sway of your hips, you're just able to like navigate the corner, and land on the other side.
Alright. I call out to them, through the corridor. See, it's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. You just got a rocky start. No pun intended. You've got this.
Thanks, mate.
Was Sev uncomfortable with Jimprax's flirting?
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry.
He's ace.
It's okay. Jimprax doesn't like women, so it was all in joke.
All right.
He'll explain that later once we survive this and we can have talks about our characters' sexualities.
As you do.
When we're gathered around the campfire. All right. All right. I guess I'm gonna try this again. All right.
Let's go.
The unseen servant is still over there.
Do this better this time.
You have Bardic.
Let's
I
get that
do.
nat one.
No.
Okay.
Not great.
But
Plus a D6.
are you fucking kidding me?
And now I'm on the other side, so I can't help.
Oof. Okay.
Rayleigh.
So you,
Oh.
Raleigh, you might need a save, Seth.
Sev,
I
as
am not
you jump
athletic.
off and like try to use
I am
your body's momentum, you don't quite make it to the other end. Instead, you get to roughly about here before you snap
And I'm
back
kinda just
to the
saying-
very middle as the rope starts to dwindle back and forth,
Oh.
losing its momentum.
Oh no.
So the unseen servant has a strength of 1. Can it try to
Yeah.
like push her to help her get momentum?
Strength of 1. I don't think it'd be able to really like generate that amount of force.
Oh, no, it has a
Unfortunately.
strength of 2. It has a strength of 2. No, remember
Oh,
because we used it.
okay,
I used it in the
that's
very first level to like roll the
That's
log for
right.
Jim
To
Tex 'cause he was
try to move
lazy,
the
right?
log. That is true.
Yeah, so could he try to? Because I'm not asking it to carry her. That would be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
okay.
But like, to like push her maybe to give her the momentum.
Push me so I could start swinging.
Yeah.
So go ahead, give me another acrobatics.
Me?
Sev.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can't give you any more bardic, sadly.
I know.
Oh my god.
Jesus fucking Christ! What?
This ledge is just not having it today.
Rex is going to panic and start looking for anything that he can use to help.
Yeah. As
Okay,
you.
wait. Can I do what? Can
I only see some mushrooms.
Yeah, as you're walking around, you see there's some glow mushrooms, one towards the bottom, one towards the right, and below you, you see, like towards the middle of the room, you see a campfire that has been extinguished.
Are there-
Alright,
Are there any like logs that are long enough that I could like make some semblance of like a bridge, like at least partially,
I'd
like against these things,
say the
like against.
widest would be like 3 feet. Was that? That's like there. Yeah,
I mean, this
that
is
makes
a 5
sense.
foot circle.
So, yeah, I'll say like the widest that there are coming out from like the middle jutting out or like just being placed on top of the campfire. They're like 3-foot logs or like pieces of
Okay.
wood that you could like try to finagle and put down as like a floorboard.
We finagling. We
Okay.
finagling.
I am wondering,
Roll finagle.
would the force of me using magic missile be enough to propel me forward?
Oh my god.
Physics.
You would have to be holding the book and then use your free hand, right? So how would you be staying on the rope?
If I'm holding the book, like, I could hold the book with the rope like this, with the rope under my arm and with my feet and legs, and then push.
Does the book have to be open?
It doesn't have to be open, just has to be holding on to it, as far as I'm aware, because you're
Yeah.
you're using it as your focus. That's how you manifest
Right,
all of your energy.
But I could, as long as I've got it in my arm with the rope.
Yeah, I will. From like each burst of the missile coming out, they'll try to like propel you forward so you can get some momentum back. Sure.
Because
All right.
I've only got one idea myself.
What's that?
Well, there's a chain and an unseen servant that can fly and carry the chain and probably tie a knot.
Yeah.
And-
Okay. I have a lock too
Love
to
it.
keep the chain in place.
We'll
All
chain
right.
you up, and then Jim Prax will pull you back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, sure.
Carry the chain. Okay, pulling out my chain. I've got like 10 separate increments of chain too. So I'm just gonna. Here you go, mate. Holding it up to the wrong direction that is not facing the servant because I don't know.
It takes it and I guess flies over to me,
Yes.
and I take it, and I guess I say,
Yeah.
well, hold on tight, and I start pulling.
Here we go.
Fantastic. Give me an athletics.
Is Dale just letting this happen? Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Athletics isn't my best, but I'm okay at it. Is a
It's
10 gonna do it?
A 10
It
with
was
all the
better
with
than
all the
any of my
preparation.
rolls.
You set up the like extended ground for Sev to like try to jump onto and let go. Sev, you're able to get off the rope. You cover enough distance. You're able to like find your footing, jump onto one of the planks. It buckles a bit and then settles. You're on,
Okay.
we'll call firm ground. You can easily walk over to the ledge.
I that was a lot.
Gale?
I feel
You did
Yes.
Sev, that I need to apologize. I feel like maybe my joke made you uncomfortable, and maybe that made you a little bit shaky and nervous with this. I just want to let you know I didn't mean it. You're very nice, but I don't swing that way. And yeah, we'll just keep having a professional working relationship from now on. How does that sound?
Good on me, mate.
Awesome. Anyway, with that out of the way, all right, we got one more.
Through the
I'll send the unseen servant to give the rope to our final friend.
Yes.
Fantastic. Through all the commotion that Jinprax and Sev just went through, you start to hear just all the noise come down from the ledge above you or below you.
Oh Christ.
We
You might
can
want to
see
hurry
it.
that up, friend.
Okay, so do I roll for a acrobatics check now?
If you want to use the rope to come down, absolutely. And
You
yeah, Gale, if you're still like on the ceiling, you like
You're witness to these
you're able
shenanigans.
to like see Jinprax like running around. You see Sev finally make her way onto ground and into the
Thanks
room
for the
below
help.
I'm gonna like look around and see what's going on in here.
Well, first I
Okay.
want to see
It's-
also if our buddy makes it.
Hard to see or perceive it in 3 dimensions without like seeing it in darkness. So I'm assuming that we're in like this little circle. Maybe there's like
Wait,
this.
we gotta let our friend get across.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I rolled.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And with a 14, you're able, not quite as elegantly as Jinprax was. You take a few like hits of the rock. It bumps you back and forth, but you're able to find your footing on the other side.
That was something.
A bit
We
more
good?
exciting than I would have liked.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeffrey, you're good to go. I bow to
Wait,
Jeffrey.
are we gonna get my hook and rope back, or is it?
Oh,
stuck
wait.
there?
No, Jeffrey, can we get that back, please, before you go? And I assume Jeffrey gets it.
Yeah, Jeffrey like will like reluctantly nod
Jeffrey!
and then go up
I'm sorry,
Unhook
my
it.
dear.
and drop it right off your feet.
All right, ta-ta! Until next time. And I bow politely at Jeffrey.
Jeffrey
Cheers,
bows back
I'm
and
like,
just dissipates.
I'm looking in the vague direction, but still not directly at him.
Does Elwie react to this at all?
He is getting like hyper focused on the webbing, starting to approach it
Of course
closer and
he is.
closer.
All right, and I'll just watch and make sure a real spider doesn't like jump out.
I am gonna look around. What's in this room?
Sure.
Doo-doo.
You see two areas where there are glowing mushrooms. One towards the bottom, one towards the right. Above you, you have a couple of cliff ledges, some like really rocky terrain. You have an exit down to the bottom right. Ceiling's up about like, oh, good 90 feet. Like, this is a very like wide open area.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Boop.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody's connection dying.
Oh yeah, I accidentally pushed a button on my microphone.
Can we see it all up there or no? Like,
I think with like how far the ledges rise up above you, you won't be able to see up top at all. Unless
So
you like
then we
wanted to
need
try
to-
to scale them.
so I know that was a bit trying back there, but we need to keep going. We can't slow down. We don't know where Gale and Elwie are.
All right, let's. go
I'm
through here.
assuming I can hear all this, especially with my super spider sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna waddle my spider ass down in front of Elwie and turn myself back into Gale.
That's a
Okay.
sight for him.
Are you wanting
I'm
to
sure
like
that
go
won't be
on
traumatic.
the webbing at all? He's like right up on the ledge where it would be connecting.
Okay, I'm gonna go on the webbing and use my web sense and see if that, like, gives me anything.
Sure.
Whatever that might do.
Double check that. Ba, 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 ba. All right, looks like you three are going through
We're
the
running.
going up the
Okay, so
stairs at the
now
bottom
we're
of the
at
entrance,
Crossroads.
come to a crossroads
Oh.
to the yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, I see some big web in that direction. Oh, I see my friend.
It's just like the centipedes
Oi!
talked about.
Go up to go down.
Yeah. We did it.
Yeah. Oi!
Oh shit.
This
Uh.
is something.
What on earth are you guys doing? Are you all right?
So, you all, when you enter the room, and we'll get there, you'll be seeing presumably Gale as a spider wolf right in front of Elmway. Gale, when you land down on the web, you absolutely understand like where exactly you are. You can tell that there are a couple of other creatures on the web.
Oh no. Okay. What do I
It-
sense?
Descends below the opening,
Oh god. As above, so below.
and the as like the web
It's a witch.
the web like keeps crossing and mingling, interconnecting all throughout the hole that it's covering. I don't know if it tells exactly what creature that you can detect on it, only that you know where they are.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
You can certainly presume it is bigger
Is
than a
it the
bread
size
box.
of a duck?
Guess who? Does it have glasses? Does it
Be
have
weird if
more
it
than
did have
two?
glasses.
Mentally stable? It's Momo.
I assume that's Gale over there, right? Why are
I
you
kind
outside?
of wave as cheerfully as I can as a spider.
Man, we went up to some crazy stuff over there involving what might be considered similar to web swinging, like slinging and swinging. It was pretty cool. Are you guys quite all right? What are you doing?
I almost
This-
fell.
I'm
The second that Gale jumps down in front, or like cuts off Elmling, and the fact that you three, we'll say roughly at the same time, sure, burst into the room, he just backs up all the way to the wall, just terrified.
Oh, it's us. Hi.
I know
What's
that
wrong?
Rayleigh can speak to animals, so I'll turn to him and say, chittering as a spider, tell everyone that this is me and that I'm Gale and that I'm not gonna hurt anyone. But there is something on this web. I don't know what it is, but there's another creature here. Maybe two.
Can I I speak to animals, or?
Yeah, at this point, it's past 10 minutes, so the first casting has
Yeah.
worn off.
Okay. But I guess I'll try and chitter that a few times so that maybe he'll know what I'm saying.
To do, yeah. He'll know, like, to cast the spell again.
Yeah.
Sure. So if you want to cast it,
Yep.
absolutely.
Frantic chittering. Speak slowly now.
Yeah, so I do want to cast it, and to do that, I just do I need to do anything for that, or
Nope.
okay?
Only thing is, with your spell slots, make sure that you have the ability to do so.
I mean,
Let's
if I
see.
gotta turn
I
back
don't
into human
remember.
all I can.
Didn't really talk about
I don't
that.
remember how many
okay, so
slots range we-
has so if you look where your spells are, see that you have slots total, slots remaining. Slots total is how many casts of each level spell you have. So if you were to cast Speak with Animals again, that would take up your last remaining casting slot.
Okay, well then sure.
Okay, cool. Goes off. You start to
And I
understand the
just-
frantic jittering of
It's
Spider
Gale.
Gale.
It's Gale. It's Gale. There's a couple of creatures on this web. Tell everyone not to be afraid of me. I guess I kind of repeat over and over again.
So I tell everybody that Gale is the spider over here, and he's telling us that there's something on the web, but he doesn't know what it is, and not to kill the spider. Please.
We'll not kill this one, but we might have to kill some others, is what I'm getting at.
I kind of
Yeah,
turn to Sev and go, yes.
Elmley
So do we
starts
just-
to approach and gives you like a look over. You know, oh, that's it's you. Okay,
That
Thanks,
spider has a man face.
thanks, buddy.
I kind of give a leg over to him to shake.
Disturbing.
He's not gonna like that.
He just
This
like
is,
nods and
what
keeps
is
his
it called
distance.
what is it called when you break your fears by like being exposed to them?
Exposure
therapy?
Exposure therapy, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
God. So are we just gonna wait here until whatever down there comes up and attacks? What are we doing here?
I'll say,
not.
I'll look for it and maybe see if I can climb down.
Perhaps you can ask them to not come upstairs, and there's nothing to see upstairs. You can tell them that.
Can I talk to spiders?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, I would assume so. With like, I mean, I don't know how spiders communicate, whether it's through like body movements or whatever else. But sure,
I
like
mean-
I would allow that.
Bees communicate by dancing.
Right? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's just
Well,
how
if I
we start.
know where they are, I'll see if I can find them.
Absolutely. And as you crawl on the web, the remaining four of you
I am
see
sitting with chill touch ready in case a spider that is not Gale appears.
you see Gale descend down the web, down like a central thread, just all the way down, moving past any of the other threads like jut out and connect to the wall. As he's descending, below you, you begin to hear some thumping, followed by tremors as the ground
Oh,
begins to shake a little bit.
oh, I probably did a bad thing.
And that is where we will end tonight.
Oh, okay. That's a good place. As any.
Shit.
Cliffhanger. Or spider hanger. Hanging
Web
off of
hanger.
Spider. Oh no.
Thank you.
Web.
I'm just glad everyone's
Thank you for
alive
getting
and
my
no
reference.
one fell to their deaths.
Yeah.
It was close. It was really
It
close.
was very close. I am not. I read books. I do not work out. I do not exercise. I do not do things with my body. I do things with my mind.
See, I was
The-
thinking. I
You
was
need
thinking
to
of
learn
maybe
fly.
getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of maybe getting rid of Unseen Servant and switching it out for something more useful, like I don't know, Charm Person. But
I did not know that bards can do that, though. I think once you pick a spell, it is implanted.
No, you can.
permanently.
You can once.
Until
You can
until
once
level up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But now that I've characterized Jeffrey, I've given him a name and like an appearance. I don't
Now
know
you
if I
can't.
can. I kind of either that or I need to find a way to be able to like ritual cast it or something.
Also, if I didn't chase after Elwie, I probably could have been the spider grappling hook that climbed and tied the grappling hook on the other side.
Or you could
Yeah.
have just carried us over.
I don't think I could carry anyone except maybe the halfling.
Yeah.
I'm also glad there wasn't an athletics check for me because my athletics is 0.
Yeah, I was
Mine is
pulling for the
negative
acrobatic.
2.
Mine's
Mine
in the
is-
positives, but not by much.
I
Acrobatics is
find-
3.
I find ways to challenge everyone in the best ways possible.
Yeah, we need well-rounded people, I guess. And by well-rounded people, I mean kobold servants. Okay, I need to go to bed.
Okay.
Alright.
night.
This was so much fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks, gang.
Are we all good for
night.
next Sunday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We all see you then. Enjoy the rest of your night.